GMS.
Strolling in the darkness, yeah, all night. Need nobody's help, cause I'm my own light. I just wanna be somebody in my life. But race is peaceful, so I don't know how to put up a fight. Against my struggles, but I'm putting up all my might. Against my problems, but I don't let mine go out of my sight. But still, sometimes I waver, but I promise I keep up. I keep moving, this ain't over until goodbye. The darkness, I see a shimmer of cold light of
Gaming Morning Show.
Tell your friends, tell your mom, Gaming Morning Show is on.
Wait,
Austin, your mom is here?
No.
Why did I look over where Bob is?
Austin, your mom is here?
Is she over there?
I sure hope not.
Is she in the box?
Whoa.
I haven't seen her in like 2 days.
Get out of here, Beelin. I just got the new marble tile installed and you'll mess up the grout. Besides, like our friend Oh Guitar Boy said,
Sorry, KK.
it's time for the clinically acclaimed Gaming Morning Show. Or should I say, award-winning.
And we have a clip of the year, friends. It is the Lost City of D live.
Glad we won.
Woo! Burp, burp, burp.
Kiki Lowe is in search of something.
I need a D that works.
There's the D. Searching in the universe because the D is currently broken.
Gaming Morning Show won Clip of the Year.
Oh my gosh.
But don't you dare expect to put that Chris Emmy Memorial Clip of the Year trophy in this
I
box.
probably should have prepared something more special.
I'm getting the walls repainted soon. Now, where to put the chandelier or the bearskin rug? Oh, and the piano. Can't forget that.
Maybe there is somebody in the world that can help her. Maybe somebody who sings a song.
6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. If you wanna get specific, I couldn't imagine any other place to go than to start the day with the Gaming Morning Show.
Morning, gamer. It's Gaming Morning Show. Thanks for being here. That is Sean, Sports.Gaming, left side of your screen. I am Hefty Goof. It is great to see you. It is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022, and we are hanging out with you for the duration of the day. And by that, I mean 3 hours. It's just not a full day.
It's the whole day. That's it.
It is approximately an eighth of a day.
Nope. 3 hours, go back to bed.
Full lap around the sun. Wait, that's a year. None of these analogies make any sense whatsoever. We're gonna spend a certain amount of time with you today, as best we can, at least. Jordy, thank you for the host on Twitch. We certainly appreciate it. Jordy is in the chat this morning. Good morning to you. Wu Dang Pig is here as well. Dave with hat. Good morning to you. I am JF Downs, Earthling Gaming, Kiki Low, and Scott Chick Downs opened up the party 33 after 5 o'clock to say, quote, came to say good morning to the pre-show crew.
Nice.
I was gonna say,
I bet Kate was here before that. She just wanted to let someone else go first this time.
probably. Kate's gonna be streaming later today. In fact, switch things up, went from Monday, Wednesdays to Tuesday. So maybe extra rest today for Kate, and then we'll be on the air at some point. Who knows? I was gonna say PSC. Isn't that the thing that you use to measure how inflated your tires are? But that's PSI. So. Yeah, it's not the same thing.
No, not the same.
It's completely different, in fact. We're going to talk to Victor Burgos of Burgos Games. They make Nico Ghost Jump, which is a new game that's coming out, I think, in February. It's a puzzle platform, and it's kind of cool because you kind of go 2D like you would Super Mario Brothers, and then you can flip and go into 3D mode. And it's really a fun-looking game. We'll talk more about that coming up at 7:25 a.m. Pacific time today. Also, we'll tell you more about GMS After Dark. It is the show that we do Wednesdays at 4:45 p.m. Pacific time. King Gray will be the guest of Look It's Maiko, the host of GMS After Dark, for, quote, let's have a VR chat. Have you ever done a VR chat?
No. Ver chat.
The closest I've ever come to doing a VR chat when I played poker. My Oculus, the person next to me said, watch out for that guy over there. And I was like, wait, you can see me?
I guess the closest I've come to a VR chat was watching part of a basketball game in your Oculus and making hand gestures at people nearby.
That was such a bizarre deal because it was supposed to be really cool because I thought you'd sit courtside. We were watching an NBA game, and they had one camera angle where you were courtside. You could see it going left to right across your screen, and that's what I thought it would be. And then it would keep flipping us around to put us on the baseline, and you'd watch from like behind the backboard.
Yeah. It was cool. It needed to give the viewer complete control of where they were, and then it would be even better.
And I just don't think that even if they put people in VR courtside, they're going to not be able to sell courtside seats, right? Like that shouldn't happen.
Right.
Maybe I'm making that up, but it just seems like that could be a concern that I don't think is legitimate. Wu Dang Pig said, I tried to do a VR game, but it makes me sick along with VR rides. Is that like everything, Wu? Because I remember my first VR experience was a roller coaster, and I was standing, and somebody came and grabbed me a stool and put me down. It was like at a convention, so I was in the middle of like a vendor space inside like a convention hall. I was like, oh, this seems like fun. And the first like down thing, I was like, whoa. So it's like, here, sit down really quick.
Yeah, they shouldn't have people standing for that.
Okay, good. So it wasn't necessarily just me.
No, that's a rough way to experience VR if you haven't experienced VR. So doing it at like a convention, it should not be that and have people standing.
Top of the moron.
Earthling Gaming is here. Good moron to you. A lady in a call just replied, likewise to my have a good day. So I thought about you guys.
Wow. She really likes you.
Hey, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise.
I know.
If you missed it, I told my son that likewise means I love you too. And well, whole different thing. I told my wife finally about that story because I think I told you before I told my wife, and she's like, "What did you do?" She also didn't appreciate us as the opposing team at our hockey game that we went to Sunday would ice the puck, which is a very, very minor infraction. We'd have my son stand on the chair and yell, "Cheaters!"
It's important. You got to follow the rules.
Sean, were they cheating?
They were cheating. It's against the rules.
It's against the
Can't
rules.
do that.
Downs goes, WWE had one where you would be in the corner post. It was, so like when you were watching the WWE match, you were over in the corner? There's
Interesting.
There's so many more see-throughable spots you could sit. In fact, the corner post is specifically one of 4 spots where you have something that you cannot see through. Seems like an odd choice. Jordy Jasper, oh my gosh, when my wife says I love you to me today, I'm going to reply likewise and see how it's nice knowing you, Jordy. It's a good run.
It'll go up. I think it'll be fine.
Okay. You know, you learn from failure, Jordy. So you might as well see what happens.
No, this is going to become something where initially she might be upset, but then you just explain it's like pretty okay. Like if your wife makes dinner and she's like, "Oh, what do you think?" You're like, "It's pretty okay." She'll be like, "Oh." You're like, "No, you don't understand. That's high praise."
Good
Likewise
moron.
is a true term of endearment now.
Just like saying good moron to everyone who joins us here, right? If you walked up to everyone you met in the middle of the day going, good moron. So, listen, it's all part of the plan, more or less. But Drew Mega, it's good to see you here this morning. Or reply with thanks and see how that goes. I don't think that one's going to work well. Do you happen to remember where the I know came from?
That's from Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, I was trying to explain that one to Hefty Wife yesterday, too, and it's like, it was from some movie.
Some indie film.
Today's topic of the day has to do, what is the best way to stay motivated and complete goals? So that's a very broad question, but if you have any advice, any thoughts, what is the best way to stay motivated and complete goals? I mean, for me, it's comes down to like coming up with a plan that you feel confident in, and then when you hit roadblocks along the way, you know, trying to stay the course because you made the plan. You put a lot of thought into the plan. You used the best information you had at the time. So you got to have some sort of belief in the plan, right? So I try to do that, but it's not always the easiest thing to do.
Well, easier said than done. And I think having small, discrete steps in the plan that are achievable is helpful because then you can feel like you're making progress, right? So people, especially people who get a lot out of crossing off things off like a checklist, you know. So if your plan is just like make $1 million, you're not gonna have anything to check off. If your plan is make $1 million, but along the way you have make $5, make $10, make $15, you have a lot of things you can check off, and that can be really helpful in, you know, continuing to make progress following that plan.
Good moron.
Kate Zaid is here. We were talking about Downs opening up the pre-show crew at like 33 after the hour, Kate. And Downs is like, I was expecting Kate to be there. So you left you left Downs hanging, Kate, in the pre-show crew. Downs goes, I just put on GMS and forgot I had any goals in the first place. Should we do like just random checks on Downs? Be like, Yeah, it's 6:17 on the West Coast, 9:17 out east. It's 2:17 for those in the UK. Downs, have you checked your goals? Dave with Hat says, great way to track progress. I'll create a way to track progress. Kind of what you were saying. Yeah. And I think that goes back to having that plan in place, right? And then make sure over the course of certain times, hey, you're still on the right track. I know that Wallstormer, who's the host of IntelliGame, uses a journal, but it has like 2 specific questions it asks each day. And I don't remember what those are off the top of my head, but it's kind of that same mentality, right? Like, no matter what happened today, did those 2 things happen, right? Or I've even heard productivity models that talk about no matter what, just pick 2 things that you can get done today. And if you get those 2 things done, no matter what happens, right? So I think that makes sense.
I think so. And I deal a lot with this sort of topic in my profession, especially when it comes to like implementing self-care routines, implementing exercise routines and stuff like that. And there's 2 pieces of advice I give a lot of people, especially when it comes to trying to stay motivated to, exercise or do self-care, like stretching, yoga, those sort of things. And the 2 that theoretically work best, that are supported by the evidence that I've had some success with patients. The first one is start something every day. If you're wanting to stretch more and exercise more, there are going to be days you just don't feel like doing it. But if you make a deal with yourself that even on those days you don't feel like doing it, you will still start, knowing that if you start and you're still not feeling it, you can call it quits. That's really helpful, because oftentimes with exercise in particular, there's times where you're like, I'm not feeling it. But if you take the smallest step, putting on your exercise clothes, for example, that's often enough to switch how you're feeling, and then you are in the mood to do it. I mean, how many times have you exercised, especially doing something you enjoy doing for exercise, where you're not in the mood to do it, but as soon as you start, you're like, I should really do this more. This feels great. So making that deal with yourself where you will start every day, no matter what, is big. And then the 2-day rule really, really works. And the 2-day rule is at any point on any day, you're allowed to give yourself a break and skip it. You're just never allowed to skip it 2 days in a row. Because 1 day is a break, 2 days is a new habit. And that works really well for 2 reasons. The first one being, if you know that and there's a day you're kind of not feeling it, but then you're like, well, if I skip today, I have to tomorrow no matter what, that often will help you be motivated to do it today, because you don't want to lock yourself into, well, what if I feel worse tomorrow? And then the other one is, if you go into it with that mindset and you take a break, then you know for sure, no excuses, no matter what you do, tomorrow you're on.
Yeah, that's really good perspective. For those who don't know, Sean is literally a doctor. So when I heard you kind of go into this kind of advice that you provide patients, I was like, oh, yeah, we should make sure to remind everybody who sees your name but may not know that you're actually a doctor. So there you go.
Sure.
Kate Zaid said, I do like to get motivated by watching other creators. And then Drew Mega added, I set mini goals with the larger goal that you can accomplish and feel good about. Kiki Low goes with the checklist method.
Nice. Yeah, those always work well for me. Having checklists, having to-do lists, breaking things down, that's my go-to.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the 2-day rule specifically. I've heard like the concept of that, but that's a very easy way to remember exactly what you're talking about. It's like, okay, yeah. It almost is the advice from Major League in the winning streak, where it's like, if you win 2 in a row, you've won 2 in a row. If you win a third, that's called a winning streak. So it's kind of simple, but not exactly the same. Downs goes, I still need to do a stock report from yesterday's show.
What's that?
Yeah, Downs, is that a stock report for our show?
Is stock up
or is that
stock down?
Is that from us going Downs? Did you check off your goals? Did you do them? Downs. Dave with Hat says, for losing weight, for example, instead of just tracking pounds lost, you can track the number of days that you followed through with the plan.
Yep. Or another thing that's helpful to track when you're trying to make like healthy changes is how it's making you feel, because that's really motivating. So like if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to improve diet and exercise more and stuff like that, sometimes the scale doesn't change in ways that you want it to, even though it's changing the way it's supposed to and is helping. Instead, tracking like how much energy you have or how positive your attitude is, like you're gonna see a lot of those changes. And we like seeing those changes, and they're harder to see unless you're specifically like thinking about them and like tracking them in some ways.
And I think that can work for other areas. You know, the thing that I'm probably most familiar with development is like professional development, right? And so if you can do a similar thing, I'm gonna send out 2 messages to people that I haven't spoken to in a long time, right? To try to keep those connections going. You might be able to feel better about just having accomplished those 2 things than necessarily applying for a job if you're looking to change, right? Like there's, I guess, the smaller benchmarks where that could definitely be applicable. Or the same kind of thing, like if you are in the middle of a job search and you're feeling exhausted because you're not getting anywhere, take a day off, right? And then you can resume it the next day. Kate Zaid said, Sean, I love this. I'm going to apply this to my sewing. That's cool to hear that it can translate to a lot of different goals.
Yeah, for sure. I've used it for like journaling, because I get a lot out of journaling, because it just gives me a way to implement a lot of the stuff we've been talking about. But there's some days that I get busy, or for whatever reason there's some roadblock, and the 2-day rule in particular helps me a lot with that.
That's really good. Also, we're one of life's winners. The first game of February goes our way, so the streak starts. We're trying to win 100 games. We're not going to do that, are we?
1 in a row.
You are one of life's winners.
Maybe that's all we need to do, chat. If you're ever feeling down on yourself, just let us know, and we'll have Bob tell you that you're one of life's winners. I think that's a good idea. Good strategy. Hey, it's 6:25 West Coast. It's 9:25 out East. 2:25 for those watching GMS in the UK. Do you want to ask Downs, or do you want me to?
No, you go ahead.
Downs, did you accomplish a goal? Downs. Drew Mega says, my wife read an interesting theory about making a decision, which basically states that it is in our nature to make up our mind to do something within 5 seconds. So if there's something you're procrastinating about, give yourself 5 seconds to take action, and then you'll actually commit to it.
Nice.
Well, and you had mentioned taking the steps to get started, kind of, right? Like, just throw on the clothes, and maybe that's the spark.
Yeah.
Am I not misreading that?
No, that's spot on.
Yeah. I also try to prevent, like, I think decision fatigue is a real thing. And so, like, that's part of the reason that I wear a sweatshirt every single day on this show. I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. I just grab one of the sweatshirts in the sweatshirt pile and boom. You know, works really well. We'll talk more about this. Y'all have had some really good things to add to it. It's 6:26, though. Coming up, we're going to check in with Mike O, see what Mike is tracking at this hour. Also coming up later this hour, it's birthdays this day in gaming history, so if you have a birthday to celebrate, please let us know, because we would like to celebrate with you. But right now, it's time to get the headlines of the day. Video game variety. And for that, we turn to hashtag video game expert. Here's Sean.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022, and this is your gaming morning show, Morning Gaming News. Big story of the day, which broke yesterday, which we've already discussed via social medias. Sony bought Bungie for $3.6 billion. Not arms race. Yeah, this is a big one. Obviously, Microsoft had the biggest bombshell so far with the acquisition of Activision, but this is another big one, especially since this one has unusual ties since Bungie was the original developer of Halo. So to see Sony Entertainment logo pop up before a Bungie game, despite what platform it might be on, that's an interesting one. So this latest round of acquisitions, both with Activision and with Bungie, there's been a lot of discussion about, well, what's this mean for exclusivity and multi-platform games and whatnot? And it seems like both sides with these latest acquisitions are sticking to some sort of plan to keep games on all platforms despite purchasing the developer. In particular, this one with Bungie, they've detailed that Bungie will continue to be an independent subsidiary and will actually continue to self-publish their own games in order to reach players wherever they choose to play. So it doesn't sound like anything's going to happen, especially with existing franchises such as Destiny, because Destiny's so ingrained across platforms. It's big on PC, it's big on Xbox, it's big on PlayStation. You'll be able to continue to play those games and any following content associated with those games on all platforms. Bungie is working on a new IP, so the true test will be to see what happens with that IP. It seems to me, and I was thinking a lot about this yesterday, that the current trend seems to be not purchasing studios in order to secure more exclusives, but purchasing studios to secure that the other side will keep things on all platforms. So it seems like we're in a place where Sony just wants to have developers and have their logo on things all over the place to help secure the fact that Microsoft theoretically will have all these companies and have their logos and games all over the place. It's kind of, it seems like it's becoming this idea of mutually assured destruction, where if Sony's like, okay, you're gonna make Call of Duty exclusive, well, we're gonna make all of these games exclusive. And I think what's gonna end up is you're gonna just see a lot more titles on an Xbox where it splashes Sony Interactive Entertainment before a game, and you're gonna see a lot more games on a PlayStation that flash Microsoft before the game. And I think if that's the new norm, I think there's nothing wrong with that, in theory.
Yeah, we had some replies to this thread that we shared because we labeled it just as not an arms race. Chris Amy had said, oh gosh, it's not going to the right spot. There we go. Chris Amy had gone on there and said, I'm not sure if it's much of an arms race. Bungie isn't nearly on the level of Activision Blizzard. And you might quit yet. And I mean, by yet, meh. And then I said I was skeptical, and then I referenced Keith Mitchell had a story that talked about maybe the Bungie acquisition was actually in the works even before Activision was purchased by Microsoft. But the closest thing I have to this is not exactly apples to apples in separate industries, but in sports, it used to be just absolutely ludicrous to hear the NBC sports announcers promoting a game that's coming up on ESPN or ABC, right? But now the NFL has these contracts in place where the NFL has basically gotten approval from these networks to promo it across whatever network that it's on. So now you do hear Jim Nantz of CBS being like, watch the Pro Bowl. Please, anybody, just watch the Pro Bowl. We're begging you. It's on ESPN Deportes, and ABC. So
yeah, so we're in an interesting place. And, despite, obviously, Activision is a bigger acquisition than Bungie, but this is still an arms race. If you and I are at war and you go out and buy a nuclear warhead and I go buy 50 tanks, obviously those are vastly different, but we're both arming up for this battle. And there will be more acquisitions. I can guarantee there will be more in this. It's not an arms race story. And in fact, I'm starting to see people use that terminology in the, every platform. I pulled and linked the gamesindustry.biz story for us this morning because they were and often are with these sort of things, have the most detailed information and are early in reporting it. But every website had this story. And you're starting to see that exact verbiage in these stories, like the latest acquisition in the arms race between Sony and Xbox. So even though it's a joke to us because someone early on said, well, it's not an arms race, we're just want to buy more companies than the other one. That is what it is.
Listen, as you were breaking it down, basically it's saying, hey, don't make this exclusive because otherwise we'll make this exclusive. Same concept.
It's absolutely the same. And to the other point that we saw on Twitter, yeah, this was not a reaction. None of these have been reactions. These are deals that are taking months and months and months and months to secure. The timing of announcing it may have been a reaction. It's like, hey, we're really close. Can we push this out so we have a counter story to Xbox buying Activision? But no, these are no way reactions. But also, don't be naive in thinking that Sony has no idea what's coming from Microsoft. Having those connections, having things, those stories leak in the industry, even if we don't hear about them, absolutely happens. The concept of like espionage in the business world, like to a certain degree, that stuff's happening. Like Sony is doing everything they can to find out what is coming from Microsoft before we find out about it. And I guarantee there are situations where they know what each other's doing before we do, but not in enough time to be able to directly react to, you bought Activision, we're going to buy Bungie. So it'll be interesting to see what comes next, because more acquisitions will come. My favorite tweet about this comes from someone that I don't know of, so I can't speak to the quality of any of their other tweets, but it's at Game and Roto64. He says, Sony buys Naughty Dog, makers of Crash Bandicoot, game that put them on the map. Many years later, Microsoft buys Crash Bandicoot. Sony buys Bungie, makers of Halo, game that put Microsoft on the map. Nintendo makes a game where Kirby can go fishing. Which is spot on, because these two companies are buying all of these studios, building up this library, and Nintendo's like, we're just doing our thing.
I know we need to move on. I did find it funny. I saw a tweet that said apparently Phil Spencer, who runs Xbox, right, is apparently favorite game is Destiny, which is made by Bungie now. So just all these dominoes. It's funny.
Oh, that's great. Our other two stories of the day, both are quick, knowing that we're going to be spending time on this. The second one is the fact that starting today, you can link your PlayStation account to Discord. This is from John Carson of Game Informer. This is a follow-up to something we talked about a long time ago, which is May of last year, in fact, that Sony and Discord have formed a partnership to bring PlayStation and the PlayStation and Discord ecosystems closer together. Well, we're starting to see the implementation of some of that. So check out the story we linked, because it does detail some more, but also you can connect your PlayStation Network account in Discord if you'd like to do so. And then the other one is something special to our hearts, and that's the fact that It Takes Two film and television adaptations are in the works. Really? And this has been a subject of a multi-party bidding war, and this is from John Carson of Game Informer. Hazelight Studios is looking to adapt the It Takes Two game into film or television, thanks to a partnership with DJ2 Entertainment. So that makes a lot of sense. That'd be a lot of fun. And I think this is a story, at least from what we've seen playing it so far and from what I've heard, that I think would make a really cute movie.
Mm-hmm. And I parallel this with A Way Out, because they were both work together. You can't play it by yourself, right? Kind of games. And A Way Out would also be an epically good TV series or probably a movie. Like, it'd be really good in either form. So
yeah, I think both those games lend themselves well. Just the way the storytelling took place would lend itself better to a movie than a lot of game franchises. And always last but never least, we finish off today's Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News with the world-renowned segment within a segment where we take a look at what is out today, like Dynabomb out on Xbox One. Life is Strange Remastered Collection is out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, and PC. Storyteller is out on Switch and PC. Karen's Crypt, Even Death May Die is out on Switch. And for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your favorite segment within a segment within a segment, today's Name of the Morning goes to Gun 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 out on Switch.
It's all one long.
That's
big
one word. Gun Gun Gun.
Are they trying to recreate the sound effect that like a semi-automatic weapon
What
makes?
sound does a gun make? Gun, gun, gun.
There you go. Well, congratulations. Mystery Egg Games on Twitter has more information about that, and we will also retweet it, which you can find through sports.gaming's Twitter account at sports.gaming. And if you go to our Twitter account, which is Watch GMS, you can enter the Fulfillment Appreciation GMS Name of the Month giveaway. It's very exciting because we're giving over $60 in backlogged Name of the Months out. We're going to announce the winner on Thursday. So to enter, just go to our Twitter at Watch GMS and follow the instructions there. We'll announce the winner as well as start giving you information about the upcoming January Name of the Month, which is pretty exciting. So all that's on our Twitter account at Watch GMS, and congratulations to, what was the name of it again?
Gun, gun, gun.
Our Name of the Morning. You can just search the hashtags. It's super simple as well.
Hashtag GMS, name of the morning.
At 6:38, we're going to check on Look It's Mike and see what Mike's tracking at this hour. Today's topic of the day has to do with motivation, right? What's the best way to stay motivated and complete goals? And Dave with Hat said, this came from a fortune cookie. A dream is just a dream. A goal is a dream with a plan and a deadline. And then Jordy Jasper, something like a diary reflecting on how the changes have made you feel, either positive or negative, is a big step in regards to mindfulness when making a lifestyle change. Not every day will be easy, but it's important to reflect.
Nice.
Then there's some controversy. We have mentioned we won our first Rocket League game today. And according to Downs, we might only be able to play 84 games this month because it's a shorter month. K-Laugh! If we play 6 games per show, we have 5 shows per week. That's 30 shows, or 30 games. Right? I think we can make it, Downs.
There's 20 weekdays for us in the month of February.
Yeah, I
So
think
we
we
should
can
be
make
okay.
it. Yeah, we should.
That's 120. We should be all right.
Look, it's Michael. I just listened to a podcast that said motivation is garbage. And if you wait to feel motivated, you'll never get anywhere. And when you want to do something, but then, quote, don't feel motivated, just count backwards out loud from 5, and that gives you a chance to do it. I like that one, too.
Have you heard the thing where if you're between two things, and you're like, I don't know, do I want pizza or chicken wings for dinner? And to find out what you really want, like flip a coin. Have you heard that? Mm-hmm. We're like, all right, heads, I get pizza, and then it comes up tails. You're like, oh man. You're like, oh shoot, I guess I want chicken wings. Had no idea.
See,
It's totally true too.
I know, and every time I do that, I sit there and be like, well, I'll flip it one more time. We'll see what happens. And before I know it, flipping the coin 13 times. Digital.games, good morning to you. It's good to see you. Let's see what's going on right now. What is Mike O tracking at this hour on Gaming Morning Show?
Thanks, Ryan. Our first story is care of the AP News, and that takes us to Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Dozens of prospective Central Michigan University students were mistakenly told they had won full-ride scholarships that include room and board have received an apology from the school and offers of the equivalent of full tuition scholarships to
Breaking
make it
up
right.
really quick.
School
Sorry, Mike, your
officials said
connection's not
50.
coming through very well. Let me take a look and see if I can fix something on my end. Yeah, it wasn't coming through clear on my end, so let me see if we can get that fixed. Restore the connection really quick and see what's going on. Would you, Sean, take us through the days of the day as I check the check the connection?
We haven't even we haven't gotten that far. It's for what feels like the 10th time in our run on the show. It's National Baked Alaska Day. I swear that's come up more than once a year. It's National Serpent Day, Decorating with Candy Day. I'm hoping you're decorating like cupcakes. Don't decorate your house with candy. That's a sticky situation. It's Car Insurance Day, National Dark Chocolate Day. My wife will be very happy about that. National Get Up Day. Done. I did that. And National Texas Day.
Kate? Yeah, happy National Texas Day. Hope things are going as well as you can.
Yeah.
Texas today. Did you get hot water?
I'm
in
not
Texas?
wrong, right? We've talked about baked Alaska more frequently, right?
Well, Michael always talks about these days of the day are anyone can buy them kind of things. So maybe what's happened is baked Alaska has really kind of cornered the market on days of the day. And so that could be what's happening.
Maybe I'm confusing it with International Baked Alaska Day.
I am getting a feed information. Sounds like we got a clear connection to Look It's Myco. So let's see what's happening with Look It's Myco at this hour.
Good morning, Ryan, and happy Worstuary to you. Hopefully you're having a great day. Our first story today comes care of Summer Brokaw from UPI, who is taking over for Ben Hooper while he's out on assignment. And she tells us that starting on Monday, Domino's Pizza is going to start tipping carryout customers $3 as a credit to use on their next carryout order amid a shortage of delivery drivers. The promotion will run online through May 22nd amid a shortage of those drivers and ahead of one of the company's busiest days, Super Bowl Sunday. Customers can claim the $3 coupon when they order online, and the company will send them an email with their discount promo code, which is redeemable to use on another carryout order the following week with a minimum $5 purchase before tax. Domino's carryout tips come just in time for the biggest football game of the year, which is also one of the busiest days of the year for pizza. Art D'Elia, Domino's executive president and chief marketing officer, said in the company's statement. Domino's typically sells about 2 million pizzas on football's favorite Sunday, so if you're throwing a party and feeding hungry fans, make it a carryout order and get tipped. Then you can treat yourself to a delicious pizza with a great deal the week after. While pizza sales increased during the pandemic, Domino's same-store sales fell for the first time since 2021 in its most recent earnings, they reported. Last week, the National Retail Restaurant Association sent a letter to Congress asking for more pandemic relief. 2 years into the pandemic, restaurants are still struggling to keep their doors open amid a surge in COVID cases, inflation, a labor shortage, and supply chain demand. Congress must act now to replenish the RRF in the upcoming legislative package to fund the government. Man, it's going to make Pizza Friday a whole lot more fun. Back to you in the newsroom. Wait, I'm in the newsroom. Where are you?
Pizza Friday is going to be a whole lot different.
Now I just want pizza.
That's what happens. I like how digital.games goes, I hope that green screen desk doesn't malfunction. We don't need to find out if Mike is wearing pants or not.
It's true. It's true.
Top of the Moron to you, Kasogo plays. It's good to see you.
Top of the Moron.
Thanks for
That was not only a new set, but was that a new jacket too?
I'm telling you, we gave Mike business money. Mike's going to use it. So, not afraid to. Not afraid to at all.
Love it.
Yeah. I like when the pizza places tip me.
Yeah. I saw this yesterday. Because it's pizza news, so I follow all the pizza news platforms. And I was looking at the details, and it's tricky because you get $3, but it's for $3 off your next carryout order. They're just locking you into doing carryout forever, which is their whole goal. But the chances of me doing carryout twice in a row to really benefit from this tip is unlikely.
It will be interesting because they also are going to offer carryout coupons for Baked Alaska.
Just today, though, in Texas.
It's now 6:46. I am Jiff Down says, a new studio? ? Mike O has a crazy budget.
It's true. It's true.
That's funny. All right. Coming up, we're going to do birthdays this day in gaming history. We also will reveal our November name of the month. And so we are excited to tell you which game was the winner last November of Name of the Month, because we're right on top of this every single time. It'll be part of our GMS Name of the Month giveaway that we do on Thursday for Fulfillment Appreciation. So appreciate you hanging out with us. Also, we'll talk to Victor Burgos of Burgos Games. It's going to be Nico Ghost Jump, which is a new game that's coming out this month. We'll talk more about that coming up on Gaming Morning Show. And did you have a pretty solid night, or was it kind of hectic? Because we went off of Sunday night. We got to do a hockey game, right? It's kind of fun and relaxing. I don't know how your Monday went.
Monday was pretty good. Work was. I'm still struggling with getting back into the swing of things with work. Fatigue is setting in quicker than it usually does. So about halfway through the day, I was pretty beat. But it went fine. And then we got home, and we hadn't been back rock climbing since COVID, and so we went yesterday for just a brief trip to go climbing. And that's one of the benefits of we pulled the trigger last month and got memberships, and this is part of why. That way, when there are days we want to go and we're like, well, we want to go so we can start building that strength back up, but we're gonna be there for like half an hour and then be toast, we can. So we went and climbed for just a little bit, did some easy routes, and then we were tired, so we left.
And you talked about getting back into it is always difficult. And I imagine the layoff from COVID didn't help.
Did not help. Yeah. No, I was starting to feel, still had a long way to go, but starting to feel like, all right, the strength is coming back, the endurance is coming back. Now it's shot again, but that's okay.
Fair enough.
I've done it before.
Drew Mega said it's really just Microsoft and Sony's way to put their stamp on big publishers, developers, and be able to benefit from added revenue that acquisitions bring. This goes back to that story about how, Microsoft has been purchasing Activision. Then you have Bungie being purchased. Did you play many of the Destiny games, or I guess maybe a better way to ask this, what's your favorite Bungie studio game?
I have mostly missed Bungie their entire like existence, because I've never really been into Halo games. And they were the Halo team for the first 3 numbered games, but then some other spin-off games in the Halo franchise. And then I never really got into Destiny. I played a demo for Destiny when it came out, but that was at a time where I just wasn't playing as many games, and I enjoyed what I played, but I never picked it back up. So I've never really gotten into any Bungie game. So maybe now's the time.
Yeah, maybe now's the time. Downs said, under the tweet I saw Nintendo was looking to buy the rights just to fishing, just in general. Not Kirby fishing.
They're gonna launch Fishing 2, the sequel.
Fishing 2, the sequel. Good morning to you, Culty Vibes.
Good morning.
Likewise to Filler. We are a morning radio show that plays games. Thank you so much for being here. I am Hefty Goof. That is Sports.Gaming. We're talking about ways to keep up motivation or be able to complete goals. That is our topic of the day. Downs also said you could start a delivery service that delivers carryout in response to the Domino's coupon that will pay people $3 to carry out on their next visit.
Perfect.
All makes sense.
We'll name it GMS Eats.
You might as well. Or, it'll be a spinoff of our restaurant.
Join us over at Hefty Goof's Place You Can Eat.
Because it's a place where you can eat. Just stuff that most people actually like, we don't serve.
Ice cream is frozen sauce, so Ryan probably dislikes it.
Bob's got a point.
It's true.
Yeah. All right, let's do birthdays this day in gaming history. If you have a birthday to celebrate with us, please let us know. It's 6:51 now, West Coast, 9:51 out East, 2:51 for those watching GMS in the afternoon. All right, birthdays today. Actor Garrett Morris turns 85 today. Garrett Morris is 85 on February 1st.
Nice. Once appeared as a police officer in an episode of Who's the Boss?
Did you ever find out who the boss was?
No.
I don't know
it's
if
unknowable.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that series ever got to the point where we figured that out.
It was a big twist.
Also today, actor Bill Mumy turns 68.
Bill Mumy. It's associated with Lost in Space, according to this picture. But also co-authored a book with Nancy Cartwright about their time on the show Lost in Space.
Yeah, was that the Netflix premiere of that, I think, in Los Angeles?
Yeah, wasn't that like April 9th? Like 2018?
Yeah, that sounds right. I think, if you look at that, that's a rich Fury picture if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely.
Isn't Nancy Cartwright the person who does Bart Simpson's voice?
Yeah. Yes.
Were they on Lost in Space?
No idea.
I'm so confused.
I'm so lost. Maybe this was. I think this might be a different. Wait. I think there appears to be some sort of typo. Because Angela Cartwright was on Lost in Space, not Nancy Cartwright.
And coincidence that Satan Slurpy's here, good moron to you, says Angela was the boss. Now, there was actually a character in Who's the Boss that was Angela. But maybe it was Angela Cartwright.
Angela Cartwright from Lost in Space.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we'll email Cleveland.com. I think they meant Angela Cartwright.
Actor or actress Lisa Marie Presley turns 54 today. I didn't remember Lisa. The fun fact is that Lisa Marie was married to Nicolas Cage. I don't remember them being married.
Well, she was briefly married to
True.
actor Nicolas Cage. I wonder how briefly that was.
Actor Pauly Shore is 54 today.
Oh, wow. What's he doing these days?
Last time we saw Pauly Shore was doing a cameo for Nicole the Sim, who's a Twitch streamer. Because Nicole is obsessed with Pauly Shore. I also can't believe Pauly's only 54, because I feel like Pauly was already like in his 30s when Son-in-Law came out, and that would put him in his 60s now. So,
Well, you're not far off.
time is a slippery road.
Is time is a thing.
So confused. So confused. Rapper Big Boi, formerly of Outkast, 47 today.
Nice. Originally from Savannah, Georgia.
Actress Lauren Conrad turns 36 today.
Was once a celebrity contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Who wasn't, though, if you think about it?
True.
Oh, you mean Millionaire Simulator.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Actress Heather Morris is 35 today.
Her middle name is Elizabeth.
So we were talking about Heather Elizabeth Morris, just to be clear. So
Now you know for sure.
I think Heather Morris was on Glee.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
This is coincidental. Wrestler Ronda Rousey turns 35 today. Downs was talking about a WWE VR event. But also, somehow Ronda Rousey was trending the other day. I think it was before the Royal Rumble. Okay. And I had to sit there and look back because Ronda Rousey had such a run in UFC of being undefeated that I had to go back and remember exactly how she lost. It was to Holly Howe or something like that. And took a kick to the face. So
That doesn't feel good.
Down says she won the Rumble.
Wow.
Congratulations to Ronda Rousey.
Nice work.
Let's see. Singer and actor. Oh, yeah. So we got a message from Austin Attack, who's a host of this program, and said, how are you going to commemorate Harry Clarence Styles' birthday? Because today Harry turns 28. And I thought, Sean, that we would take a trip down memory lane. Do you remember all the fun anecdotes about Harry Clarence Styles?
Well, of course. And the first thing we discovered was his middle name, which is Clarence. Most people don't know his middle name is Clarence. But also, I think the funnest of fun facts, and Cleveland.com has the fact that he appeared as Thanos' brother, Star Fox, in the MCU film Eternals, and that's fine. But the most important fun fact from Harry Styles is that his British accent is fake, and he's actually from Arkansas.
It turns out that specifically from one specific part of Arkansas, and that's Toadsuck, Arkansas. So if you've ever been down to Toadsuck, there's probably a statue of Harry Clarence Styles there.
Arkansas's
It's
favorite
a small
harpsichord
one, but
player.
it's there.
How big is it?
It's small. It's about like 3 inches tall.
Wouldn't
But it's a
that be a
statue.
figurine?
No, it's a statue. It's bronze and permanently affixed outside of a small park, which also happens to be someone's front yard. but it's a park.
You do recall what his first tattoo was, of course.
Oh, of course. His first instrument, the buttsichord.
It used to be known as the harpsichord, but once Harry got it tattooed to its left butt cheek.
Buttsichord.
So it all makes sense. All makes sense.
That's...
Congratulations, turning 28 today. Harry Clarence Styles of Toadsuck, Arkansas.
A fan of Hildart Duff and Harry Clarence Styles.
That we are, Bob. Also, gymnast Connor McLean turns 17 today, member of the women's national gymnastics team. We also have another fun birthday today.
We've got a drummer birthday.
It's drummer Patrick Wilson's birthday of Weezer. Patrick is 53. Nice.
The Weezer.
Of Weezer.
53.
Yeah.
I saw
it's
someone.
Also,
I saw someone tweet out a mashup of Waterfalls by TLC.
like Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls.
And then, man, what was the other song? But at the end, there was like almost like a needless Weezer part to it. Like the whole thing was great, where like one song fit right into Waterfalls and vice versa. But then at the very end, they brought in like a Weezer introduction. It was unnecessary.
Is it the one that's mixed up with Lose Yourself from Eminem?
Maybe?
Because
Did
that
you
sounds
find
pretty
one?
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Apparently, a lot of things have been mashed up with Waterfalls.
Huh.
There's Eminem Lose Yourself. There's also a mashup with an Ed Sheeran song. Mashup with a Paramore song. I'm gonna have to listen to some of these.
Apparently, I've just taken the lid off of the Waterfalls conspiracy theories. You're welcome, I guess. So, any other birthdays?
Yeah, it's jazz saxophonist Joshua Redman's birthday. He's 53. He's fantastic. I've owned many of his albums and have seen him play live before. And he's just fantastic. So if you're a fan of jazz, he's a good one to check out. Has played with his band, the Elastic Band.
Wait, the Elastic Band?
Yeah, it's a
Come
good name.
on now.
It's a good name.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Satan Slurpee says statuettes exist, just a small statue. So it's not a figurine, especially if it's bronze, apparently. We'll call it a statuette.
There you go.
Please, if you ever find yourself in Toadsuck, Arkansas, please ask where the Harry Clarence Styles statuette is, please. That'd be great. Kate Zaid asked, Hefty, Ryan, you dislike ice cream? No, the answer to that question is I do not dislike ice cream. I don't necessarily prefer ice cream. Let's say we're out at Hefty Goof's place you can eat. You're like, do you want some dessert? And you propose that we could have a cookie, maybe a nice slice of apple pie, right? Or ice cream. I probably wouldn't choose ice cream. And Bob suggests that maybe that's because it's slightly frozen sauce.
So say you're in that same situation. You're at the restaurant, and they go, Mr. Hefty Goof, would you like dessert? And you say yes. And they're like, okay, all we have is ice cream. Would you like some? What would you say?
Probably yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's a yes.
Okay. Acceptable.
Thank you. Top of the moron to you, Superphonic. It's good to see you.
Good moron.
We have two this day in three. We have a trifecta.
Oh, wow.
Of this day in gaming histories from before 1995, which gives you 3 tries to go lawsuit or not lawsuit. Do you want to do lightning round or do you want to do them one by one?
What are the years?
1982, 1989, and 1990.
They're all not a lawsuit.
Oh, wow. Going just a big swing. All right.
Yep.
We'll start with 1982. Colco, might remember Colco, had a contract with Nintendo for exclusive rights to home and tabletop conversions of Donkey Kong. Nintendo grants Colco a 6-month exclusive license for undisclosed cash plus royalty of $1 per tabletop machine and $1.40 per cartridge.
Nice. That's a good start.
That's technically not a lawsuit. So,
yep. 1 for 1.
Correct.
By the way, if they had sold 10 cartridges, that was $14 because 1.4 times 10 is 14.
That checks out.
I'm good at math. 1989, Atari files a lawsuit against Nintendo. Oh no!
That's a bad start.
Correct.
A lawsuit against Nintendo. It wasn't even like it was we have to interpret this. Literally a lawsuit. It was a lawsuit against Nintendo for $250 million, which, by the way, is a lot more than $1.40. In U.S. District Court, Atari accuses Nintendo of violation of antitrust laws due to Nintendo's licensing agreements, perhaps such as one that they made with Coleco 7 years later, preventing licensees from releasing game titles on competing systems for 2 years. I think something just dawned on me. You ready?
Uh-huh.
The reason Nintendo doesn't want to get out of the Kirby fishing market is because they've already done this.
Yeah.
They were busy acquiring and exclusiving before you were even born, Microsoft.
It's true. They've been down this road.
They want nothing to do with it again. I wonder if Nintendo's just sitting up on the mountain watching the other two burn.
Just fishing with Kirby.
1990, Nintendo ships the Super Mario Bros. 3 video game for NES, so you were 2 for 3.
Correct.
It's not bad.
67%. It's a big computer up here. In the year 2000, Sega released Crazy Taxi for Dreamcast.
Crazy Taxi. Man, that was a game.
Did that go out in the arcade, or was that a Dreamcast thing?
No, it was an arcade game too.
And then both in 2005, Konami put out Winning 11-8 for Xbox and PlayStation 2 that same year, as I mentioned. Star Fox Assault was out for GameCube and included a full unlockable version of the classic game Xevious. Xevious.
Xevious.
Xevious? Xevious?
I have no idea, but Xevious sounds like a medication.
Profiteroles. Harry Clarence Styles' birthday today. Down says, do they note him as a musician or an actor? Cannot be both. It was No, it was singer and actor, Harry Styles. So, double threat. Digital Doc Games, some have accurately referred to my life as just one big quest for the nearest ice cream shop. There you go, Digital Doc. I won't knock you for liking something at all. All right, we'll talk to Victor of Nico Ghost Jump. The creative director behind that game is getting released. We'll do that in about 20 minutes from now. We'll talk to Victor. Also next hour, sports. This is a morning radio show that plays games. Also check in with Look, It's Mike O and see what Mike is tracking in the 7 o'clock hour. It's all ahead. Thank you for being here wherever you may be. Sean and Hefty on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at GamingMorningShow.tv.
Coming up on Gaming Morning Show, today's interview, and sports. Find GMS on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and GamingMorningshow.tv. Time for hour number 2, right now.
Morning, gamer. Thanks for being here. It's Gaming Morning Show. It's Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. That is Sports.Gaming. I am Hefty Goof. We'll talk to Victor Burgos coming up in about 10 minutes from now about Nico Ghost Jump. It's a new game that's coming out. Just came out in early access, and so we'll find out what are some of the pieces of feedback that you get during like an early access portion of a game that's coming out, and how do you implement them? Does it matter how much time that you have? I'm kind of curious about that aspect of it. So we'll ask Victor about that coming up in about 10 minutes from now. Also later this hour, sports! And we'll announce our November Name of the Month as part of our Fulfillment Appreciation Name of the Month giveaway. So very excited about that. You can enter right now on our Twitter feed. Just go to @WatchGMS on Twitter and follow the instructions in our pinned tweet, or you can click that link right there. We'll announce our winners on Thursday's show. Tomorrow at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time, it is GMS After Dark with Look, It's Mike O. Mike is welcoming in King Gray for Let's Have a VR Chat.
A Verchat.
A Verchat. Hey, according to Austin Tech, what sound does a car make?
Verchat.
You can watch Austin, hopefully streaming later today. Austin's one of the hosts of Gaming Morning Show. It's great to see everyone who's been joining us this morning. We are a morning radio show that plays games, and Dungeon Meowster KJ is here. Good moron to you, KJ.
Top of the moron.
Thank you so much for the host on Twitch. Same with Jordy Jasper and Aura. That always helps us a ton. If you are watching on Facebook Gaming, please also react there. That is a huge help. Plus liking and commenting on YouTube videos. You can find us on youtube.com/Gaming Morning Show, including today at noon, your latest episode of the GMS Plays Far Cry 6 series. We're getting close to the end.
We're getting close. We got including today, there are 6 more episodes of the storyline and 8 episodes total.
Wow.
So we're in the final little bit. It's fun. Some good stuff coming.
I love the series. I love the clips, especially if you follow us on Twitter, you'll see those. We also put them on YouTube Shorts and stuff. But it's a really fun way to take in the games. And then coming up later this month, we'll have GMS Plays Horizon Forbidden West, which comes out on the 17th. So we'll have a live edition of GMS Plays when it's released, and then we'll have YouTube exclusive playthroughs, some Let's Plays of Horizon Forbidden West. Today's topic of the day, and chat, you've been excellent so far today. Many candidates for a Billy Thundergun Award coming up later in the show. What is the best way to stay motivated and complete goals? So we're asking that question. Certainly interested in your feedback. Have you ever actually had a baked Alaska?
No, I haven't. And I think the last time we talked about it, I was like, I need to try that.
Do you have the description handy?
Sure do.
Yeah. I don't think K-Laugh's working today, so. And K-Laugh's our head of research and development, if you've never met K-Laugh. And routinely will miss the show and only inform Look, It's Mike O, or none of us for that matter, what's going on. So maybe K-Laugh forgot to send us a message to let us know that he's taking the day off. So,
according to Wikipedia, a baked Alaska is a dessert consisting of ice cream and cake topped with browned meringue. Yep, you put ice cream in a pie dish, lined with slices of sponge cake or Christmas pudding, and topped with meringue. The entire dessert is then placed in an extremely hot oven for a brief time, long enough to firm and caramelize the meringue, but not long enough to begin melting the ice cream.
That's a delicate balance, isn't it?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, is it possible to take the baked Alaska?
Put it on a pancake.
You can put anything on a pancake, if you believe.
KJ said, yeah, baked Alaska is hard to make without melting the ice cream.
Gotta be careful.
So I, for some reason, have such an association with Alaska and salmon that I had assumed this whole time that baked Alaska was a salmon dish, which is completely unfair. But I'm just sitting there going like, oh yeah, baked Alaska, a delicious fish dish.
Fish dish. It looked like we knew what we were doing right there, by the way.
Oh yeah. Well,
I
don't
kicked
we?
it over, you kicked it in, so I got the assist. It was pretty solid.
All we do is win in Rocket League. Ask anybody, chap. Even our former 5 Questions GMS guest, Creative Mindframe, who was in fact cracked at Rocket League on Facebook Gaming, often says, Sports.gaming, Hefty Goof, those are 2 people who know what they're doing in Rocket League.
The dream team, some call us.
I mean, even Jordy Jasper, who's cracked at this game, could vouch for us, I'm sure. I mean, if you think about it, really, we haven't lost a game in February.
That's true. Although we missed it when you missed a game last hour. If we do that too much, we're not gonna have enough opportunities.
That's true. The hard math downs was we were somewhere between 168 and 300 games that we can fit into this particular month. So, because math has no wiggle room. So, it either is or it is not. Nice. Look at that. It's 3-0.
Yeah, it is. All right, we already got one of their teammates to quit. Is this going to be another forfeit game? We had quite a few of those yesterday.
We have, but not so far in February. Listen, yesterday, somebody had purchased the rights to Worst Month Ever Eve. So I kind of feel like we have to have a tremendously successful February to kind of, throw that back in their face a little bit.
Yeah, and that's some redemption for February.
Yeah. Downs goes, well, I don't know how many games you were going to play. Downs, we told you. Downs, by the way, have you accomplished your goals?
Nice.
You might remember, I don't know, not everyone had heard this because this has come up on somebody else's stream. It might have been Austin Attack's stream. There was a thing that happened, I want to say it started in the 90s, and I don't know that for sure. But TV news would have, or right before the TV news would go on, and I don't know if it was exclusively in like big cities like New York or if this happened in many, many more places, and I just wasn't aware. Keep in mind, I grew up in a very, very small place. There was an announcement right before the news would start, and it was like, it's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Did you remember that at all?
I do remember that.
Okay. And so I don't remember, I think it was like at 10 o'clock, right? Right before the 10 o'clock news. And so this is what we'll do for Downs, is like, it's 7:20 in the morning. Downs, have you accomplished your goals?
Do you know where your goals are?
Ooh, that's even better. I bet Bob can say that.
Bob can say anything if you believe.
Xbox 360.
Case in point. Downs goes, I did stock take, but that created 2 extra jobs. So, yeah, boo goals. KJ did say, timelines, bite-sized checklists, and small rewards was KJ's answer to our question of the day.
I like it. Timelines are good. I like making a good schedule.
Well, and you had good advice in the first hour about even like the 2. Did you say it was called the 2-day rule?
The 2-day rule. Yep. You're for especially this works the best for things that you would do daily, and so this is certain types of exercising or self-care in general. Like if you're trying to exercise 4 days a week, and the days you're not exercising, you're doing, a brief yoga routine or doing some stretching or that sort of stuff. The 2-day rule is on any day, even if it's multiple days in a week, you can skip it and give yourself a break. You can just never give yourself that twice, 2 days in a row. So if you take a day off, no matter what, the next day you're back on. No breaks allowed. And so even if it leads to you taking a break every other day for a while because you're just exhausted, that's okay. Just never twice in a row.
I like it. Yeah, because there was there's a don't break the chain, which a lot of people would use with just, putting X's on a calendar. But the concept behind that idea was you never let the chain break. So you'd have X's all throughout the course of the month. I like the 2-day rule, at least for myself, a little bit better because I know that I can't keep 28 days going.
Yeah. Well, and that's the beauty of the 2-day rule too, is that sometimes we get into this all or nothing mindset with things, especially when we're trying to implement an improved diet or implement a new workout routine. And we get into this all or nothing mindset where we think, okay, we have to keep this streak going. And then as soon as you break it, you're like, well, I already ate like garbage yesterday. I guess today I'll have pizza and a cheeseburger. And that's not helpful.
Yeah.
And so that's where something like the 2-day rule that does give you the empowers you to be able to take a break or skip things without feeling like, oh, I've ruined it, I might as well just give up. It really works.
I will admit, when it's pizza and cheeseburger day, it's really yummy.
And that's why I never skip cheeseburgers and pizza 2 days in a row because of the 2-day rule.
Digital.game says, I really like that, Sean. Kate Zaid says, Sean is so spot on, which rhymes, so bonus points for that. Sean is so spot on. If it rhymes, it has
to be right.
Yep. And then Culty Vibes says, I use the 2-day rule. It really helps, and I agree with that. So spot
Indeed.
on.
In fact, I think Colty and I have talked about the 2-day rule before.
So there you go. There you go. All right, coming up later this hour, we will check in with Look It's Mike O and see what is Mike tracking this hour. But coming up next, it's Victor Burgos. We're going to talk about Nico Ghost Jump, the game. It's next on Gaming Morning Show.
Not too bad by yourself. No problem. Neko Ghost Jump. Yep. Blue. Okay.
Tuesday edition of Gaming Morning Show. Thanks for being along with us wherever you may be. Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at GamingMorningShow.tv. And excited to welcome in Victor Burgos, the creative director for Burgos Games, and making the new game, Neko Ghost Jump. Now, I had a release date. This game is coming out pretty soon, right, Victor?
So actually, it came out in early access a few weeks ago on Steam and Epic Game Store.
And I was going to ask you about early access, which I definitely want to do. When you release a game through early access and you start collecting feedback from that particular game, how does that kind of change? What have you learned so far in early access that might be implemented when the game goes into the post-early access stage?
Yeah, so developers developers use early access for a lot of different reasons, but typically it's so that they can get the hands a little bit earlier to the players, right? Especially the ones that are hardcore, the ones that really would like to enjoy the game, or at least provide feedback for the players, or sorry, for the developers. And so this is what we're using it for, really, is to get feedback from the community and try to improve it so that when we go 1.0, the gold launch, that it's as polished as possible. Like all the little things that we probably may have ignored during development, your average gamer will pick up on that, right? They'll be like, if they complain about, oh, movement's a little floaty. Okay, cool. I mean, let's work on movement a little bit. Let's try to make it a little less floaty for folks. Or recently there was something about combat just feeling a little stale or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's improve combat. And so actually we just did. We added two new attacks to the game, and it also helped a little bit with movement as well. And so stuff like that feedback, that back and forth between the community is really great when you're in early access, because you can take an average game and make it great, within certain 6 to 12 months or whatever. I mean, I don't know. There's like a lot of early access games that are still early access even like 20 years later, which I mean, for some of them are like still doing great, because I think like Project Zomboid is like one example that has been around early access for like ever, but they're still making a ton of money. I think they might have just went 1.0, or they're going to be 1.0 really soon. But I know they released some big update and they got a lot of traction again. But I mean, basically, you got the flip side of that, right? You do have the asset flippers. You got the early access games that just stop ever producing any kind of content. They just give up, basically. So we're not going to be like that, though. I'm definitely trying to make sure that we I have my eyes set on 1.0 and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. And we've looked forward to 1.0's coming. Let's look back at how this all started. And this has been in the works for a couple years, right? This started as a game jam game. Some of our audience might be unfamiliar with what a game jam is and kind of how that process evolves from game jam to full development. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So to be honest, I think game jams are like super important in game development, or especially if you're starting off game development, or you're potentially thinking about a career in game development. Like, jump into a game jam, like randomly join some teams. There's always teams that are like looking for random people. Figure out whatever your skill set is and you want to try it out, and just do a game jam, or just do solo, whatever. But they're super important because they're time constraints. There's usually a time constraint, typically anywhere between 48 to 72 hours. Sometimes a little bit longer. And then you have like a theme that usually you have a theme. Sometimes you don't have a theme, but most game jams revolve around a certain theme. And then they have a whole bunch of rules. So like you're constrained between the time, the length of the game jam, and then whatever rules they have, right? And so with those three, there's other constraints usually, but those three major constraints for each game jam, you're basically prototyping quickly, like super quick, a game. So in Naked Ghost Jump's case, the theme was like the other side of the coin. And so I'm over here thinking about like, what is similar but like opposites, right? So like a platformer, typically it's either a 2D or a 3D, but why not both, right? So like it's the opposites of 2D is 3D, blah blah blah. Okay, boom. Then you have your physical form, right? But then what's the opposite of that? Is a ghost form, right? So that's where the ghost form and the cat form came into be. But yeah, so that game jam was 5 days, and the theme, I already said the theme, and there was a whole bunch of rules though. There were like a whole bunch of rules. But the so it's basically just trying to create a game in a certain amount of time, with some rule sets. That's there's a lot of game jams. Like itch.io has like a calendar of game jams, and literally there's probably 50 to 100 game jams happen every month. So like if you want to, you're bored on a weekend, look, there's probably a game jam happening that weekend. Jump on one, right?
Victor Burgos is our guest on Gaming Morning Show. And you talked about game jams as being a way that maybe if you're interested in game development, participate in something like that. That kind of gives us a chance to ask you about your origin story. How did you get into game development?
It was a little bit of a rough road. So originally I was supposed to go to school out of high school for a computer science degree, right? And I thought that was going to be my segue into game development. However, that didn't happen. I actually ended up 9/11 happened, and so I ended up going to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. So I actually ended up doing 12 years in the Marines. Even then, though, my idea of wanting to go into game development was still like there. And so my first duty station was actually Iwakuni, Japan. So like I go to Japan, like, it's like, oh man, video games, like it's like the culture is like all revolves around video games, anime, idols, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But whatever. It's Japan. And so I was like, oh, okay, I want to do video games again. So while I was in, I attempted to actually, I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was this this online thing. It was a funny commercial. It was from Westwood College Online. And so there's this ad about like game testers. If you want to be a game tester, here's this number 1-800 blah 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 blah. And so anyways, so I was like, that was at the time there was like that was only really the option, especially for me because I was in Japan, not like in the United States. So I had to do like correspondence, online school. And so I submitted my application. I got accepted, but then I got deployed. So then I got deployed to Kuwait, and this was like an operation, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Or actually, it was technically OIF, Iraqi Freedom. Then it converted over to Enduring Freedom. But so I missed my chance. And then I came back. I was like, okay, well, I still want to do something, and I want to do a degree. So I ended up getting like a computer engineering degree, which was like terrible. Like it was so boring. Like that degree was like so boring. I did not like that at all. And so I was like, okay, this is not what I want to do. Like after I get out of the Marine Corps, and eventually my time was up. I was like, okay, I'm getting out. What am I gonna do? At the time, I lived in Beaufort, South Carolina, and there was a school nearby-ish called Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD, and it's an art school primarily, but they did have a game development degree. And so I'm like, okay, I can just cross the state border and just go to school full time, whatever. And so that's what I did. I used my GI Bill, and I went to SCAD full time after getting out of the Marine Corps, and I ended up getting my degree in 2017, Bachelor's in Fine Arts, and I forgot the fancy word, but basically it's a game development degree. And so yeah, but before even that, and this is why I said game jams are super important. I was already doing game jams. I was already like doing portfolio stuff. I was already freelancing at the time. I was already making money while I was in school because like people would hire me for like odd jobs here and there. And so I ended up building up my reputation little by little, even before graduation. And then after graduation, I just went full time freelancing, contract work, and I ended up getting my first like full time gig working for Monochrome Games on Contagion VR Outbreak, and so that's like a zombie horror survival game, VR game, and that was really cool. That was really awesome. I ended up shipping their early access title also, and from there, that's kind of where they had some funding issues, and I can't work for free, right? No one can work for free, or at least not for too long anyway. And so, anyways, so I had to bounce and basically do my own thing, and that's where Burgos Games came from. I was like, well, if I'm gonna work for free, I'm gonna work for myself then. And so I did that, but I ended up still doing freelance. I still do contract work on the side too. It helps pay the bills for sure. And indie game life is not easy at all. There's always the financial burden is always in the background, always looming, like really looming, really close. And so trying to make money is always hard for indies. But yeah, so that's where Burgos came from, I was working on like some VR project, but I wasn't feeling it. And then the game jam happened for NECA Ghost Jump. And I was like, oh, this is a cool game. Maybe I can get this game out in like 1 year. Well, it's 3 years later, so obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, so that happened, but like it's kind of weird because like it's good and bad because it's 3 years later, but the game's like grown so much. It's evolved so much for the better. Like around that 1 year mark, we ended up doing a Kickstarter for the game, and we ended up getting funded on Kickstarter. It was only like 20,000, but and you don't really get the full 20,000 anyway. But still, it was still nice to know that there was like almost 500 people that actually cared about the game and actually like backed the game. So I was like, oh, like I felt like a big confidence boost there. And then I guess it was a year later. No, it wasn't a year later, but it was like 6 months, 9 months later, whatever it was. We ended up getting a Epic Mega Grant also, so from Epic Games, and they gave us some money too. And then, but basically, it's like, oh man, we're getting some support financially, and so that's very helpful. Truth, I'm telling you. Remember that whole thing about indie devs and always like worried about money. Yeah, all this little bit helps. Well, it's still tough. Like the money they give us isn't like a lot. So it's still I'm still scrambling for like contract work here and there, trying to make ends meet. I still have a family to support too. It's not like if it was only me, that'd be one thing. But like I have a newborn that just she just thankfully graced us with her presence last month, and so it's another addition of family, and it's another stressor. But we ended up doing E3 last year. Yeah, 2021. Yep, and so we ended up like. The game actually kind of took off from there. We ended up winning like E3's like official like indie showcase. Like the fan vote, they queried the fans like live, and we ended up winning like 34% of the votes because we had like the best trailer for E3. So that was like awesome. Wow. We got like a lot of big press out of that, and yeah, it's been a little slow. Up to launch, but that was because the baby was coming out and a whole bunch of other stuff. I was more worried about my family than trying to like the game at that time.
Well, but, absolutely, yeah. And even KJ in our chat said congrats on the new edition. Both Sean and myself are fathers too, so congratulations on having the kiddo and all the complexities that come with trying to be a father and running your own thing and on all the things that you kind of talked about. But we appreciate learning a little bit about your background, but certainly about this game. Brendan, who just hosted us on Twitch, said this game looks like so much fun. We were able to show some of the videos from your YouTube page and from the Steam page, as you mentioned, available on Epic Game Store as well. NECA Ghost Jump, check it out. It's in early access right now. If anyone wants to keep tabs with you, we've also linked through to your Twitter, Burgos Games Twitter as well. So really appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning on Gaming Morning Show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That's Victor Burgos joining us on GMS. Wow. New father is always I like having those conversations, Sean. I mean, I know you do too, because it's a different ride, right? When you become a dad, it changes the game a little bit.
Yeah, your stress load for financial security is always there, but once you add in a full family to the mix, it definitely heightens that. And you mentioned just being in indie game development is never an easy path, and small things go a long way with these sort of games, especially being in early access. So if it's something that looks cool to you, even throwing it on a wish list is huge. But if you get a chance to play it, purchase the game, play it, leave a review, that word of mouth, those reviews, those wish lists, ads, that stuff goes a long way. So definitely, if this is something that interests you, take some of those small steps.
Good morning on to Forgettable Vendetta. Thank you for being here. Saw that you followed within the last 24 hours on Twitch. This is a morning radio show that plays games. We just got done talking to Victor Burgos about NECA Ghost Jump, which, again, the release date, I always get a little bit confused, to be honest, Sean, about early access versus when the game is 1.0'd or whatever the case may be. So I appreciate Victor kind of walking us through that. But if you want to find the game, go here. This is at least to the Steam link. And I agree, like, I like, and Victor elaborated on it, the opposites part, right? Ghost, and then in real life. 3D, 2D. I think it's going to be a pretty neat game, and I would be looking forward to trying it out.
Absolutely. It's worth checking out.
All right, it's now 7:42 on the West Coast, 10:42 for those watching on the East Coast. Is 3:42 for those watching GMS in the UK. Thank you again. We're a morning radio show that plays games. We got sports coming up in about 10 minutes from now. Also at 7:55 this morning, we announce our GMS Name of the Month, a game that we will give away on Thursday from last November. We're kind of recapping the last 6 or so names of the month into a big fulfillment appreciation GMS Name of the Month giveaway. You can find out more about that on our Twitter page. Right now, it is time to see what Mike O is tracking at this hour.
Thanks again, Ryan. I know you're a big sports fan, so here's a good sports story for you, but with a little bit of a twist. Simone Biles has a new rival, but it's not who you might expect. This comes care of Megan Kim, Amy Isaacson, and Christopher Intagliata from NPR. There's a new move in gymnastics unlike any that's come before. The thing that's amazing about this jump, though, is it's taking off from a push-up position. It basically goes from playing dead to launching itself like Simone Biles, said Jessica O'Beirne, host of Gymcastic, the gymnastics podcast. The athlete in question is not a traditional competitor. It's the larvae of a bark beetle, about 1/4 of an inch long. It lives in dead or dying trees. This larva is going to get a little bit of a deduction for rotating off center in the twists, and also for just falling over when it lands, O'Beirne said. But I would probably give it like a 9 or a 9.1. Also, its difficulty score is going to be huge. I mean, it's going to rival Simone's Yurchenko double pike vault in difficulty area, so it's doing really well. Researchers recently discovered the new jumping behavior somewhat serendipitously. Matt Bertone, an entomologist who wrote a paper on the find and directs North Carolina State's University Plant Disease and Insect Clinic, spotted a rotting oak tree on campus. So I started going up there and just kind of taking the bark off, collecting all the insects that were there, Bertone said. I noticed they would crawl for a distance and then would hop. And it was really strange, and I didn't know if I was seeing things or not. Larvae have little to no muscle and cannot jump like humans. Instead, they grip the ground with their legs and then arch the middle of their bodies into the air. That builds up energy. When the larvae let go, all the stored energy sends them spinning into the air with takeoff velocities of up to 2 miles per hour. Now that's what I call a triple gainer. Back to you in the wherever you are.
Gotta get Mike a map. We're over here in the studio, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. It's a good story. And KJ, I believe former gymnast, was excited to have our gymnast story. So there you go. That's what Mike is tracking this hour. Good moron to you, Megaspell, asked, what's the best video game, to which Kate Zaid responded with Stardew Valley. I think I'd still say that my favorite game, even as much as I played Mortal Kombat for a long time, was or is Tecmo Super Bowl.
Nice.
How does one become a board certified butt analyst?
There's decades of schooling, lots of board exams.
Do you have to take the bar for that, or is that a different test?
You could take the bar. It doesn't hurt, just having that in there.
That's unfortunate. KJ says, I am loving this new segment. Yeah, Mike tracking what's going on each hour is fantastic. That's Simone Biles, a rival, a tiny bark beetle. But can it stick the land? Good moron to you, Quiet I Am Gaming. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Top of the moron!
Quiet, you guys have been going up against a bunch of butt-based competition lately. Who am I missing? Well, Quiet said we've been going up against a bunch of butt-based competition. Who'd we
We've
have?
just had other players in Rocket League that have had butt-themed names.
That's what I'm saying. Do you remember any of the names?
I remember other ones existing. I just don't remember what they were.
I agree. Yep. Forgettable Vendetta is someone by the name of Hefty Goof. I think I was talking about this podcast. It's nice to meet you, Vendetta. My name is Hefty Goof, and it's good to see you. I'm one of the hosts of Gaming Morning Show. And I don't remember where I saw you either, but thank you for being here. Like I said, we're a morning radio show that plays games Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at GamingMorningShow.tv. Scott Chick says, agreed. I wish to be home completing my fish collection at the moment. We had a story earlier that we'll recap next hour from the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News about Sony purchasing Bungie. And Sean shared a tweet that somebody said Nintendo's fishing with Kirby.
Yeah. Nintendo's gotta stay on brand with their characters doing cute stuff.
Just hanging out, fishing with Kirby. So maybe Nintendo can help you with your Stardew Valley fish collection. There, KJ. Brendan goes, butt analyst is more of a lifestyle than full employment. But how do you get board certified then? This person seems credentialed. There's was a Tushy something yesterday. Was there really? Man, I'm missing all these names.
That checks out.
Top of the moron.
I'm sure there were more too.
Good moron.
To Red Run Gaming. Good morons to you all. Likewise, it is good to see you this morning. Forgettable Vendetta said, on Lucy the First stream. Yes. We use Lucy's music during our breaks, and also you can catch Lucy streaming on Twitch, a full-time streamer now, often playing music, plays some Stardew Valley, in fact. I think that was what Lucy was playing yesterday on Pixel Monday.
Pixel Monday. That sounds fun.
Bummer. Man, how many goals? 2 goals, 2 assists for board certified butt analyst. That's what happens when you're certified.
It's true. It's true.
Scott Chick says, I shall have to catch up on the VOD later. Alas, I am at work and I must go. Sean, I need a doctor's note, lol.
I'm on it.
For those who are just joining us, though, it's great to see everyone. We are asking you the question, how do you stay motivated? What's the best way to stay motivated and complete goals? Brennan goes, well, that's easy, Ryan. You passed the butt bar exam. Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate it.
The butt bar.
Look, it's my go just goes, I am not motivated, and I didn't have an intake would call in sick, and I didn't have an intake would call in sick. I'm happy you're here. You keep asking us, Mike, back to us in the wherever we are. With this new fancy studio that you've purchased using all your business money, do we need to get you a big fancy map? Because we're happy to do that. We just need to know.
Yeah. We have the map budget.
Yeah. Do we have a cartographer?
Absolutely. It's Caleb.
Did I actually say that right? Is that what a map maker is?
Cartographer. Yeah.
Never doubted myself for a second.
Oh, yeah. Downs can make us a diagram.
All right, Downs, here's what we need, okay? We talked about how Mike now has business money. He's buying all these fancy suits, built a new studio with a very elaborate newsroom. Digital Doc Games is concerned about what's under the desk, if that's in fact a green screen desk. But if you could make us a diagram and post it into our Discord, that would be super cool.
Downs is on it.
So is Downs our official cartographer and diagram maker?
Yeah, I think so.
Diagrammer?
Diagrammer, I don't think is a word.
Is now official diagrammer. Red Rum goes, I have never played this game. Probably the only gamer ever to have never played Rocket League. But also said, please don't ask me, which Red Rum was on a couple of weeks ago for our 5 questions GMS. And we specifically asked Red Rum Gaming about reasons he likes a game that he specifically asked not to ask about. So we likely would, Red Rum. But then also says, have a kiddo who's sick with COVID. So we'll wish you the best of luck, best of recovery to your kiddo and your household for sure.
Get well.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Red Rum Gaming about his kiddo and what kind of motivates him to be a gamer, to bring games into the world. He had a really good motto that talks about kind of, finding ways to choose happiness, to paraphrase for sure. So yeah, check that out. The latest video is not Julia Joe's son. I think I found one of the captions that I have had not the best time updating so far. But if you go to our YouTube page, you can find all of our past 5 questions GMS guests. Last 5 questions guest was Project Ruby a week ago today. And you can learn more about Ruby's series on YouTube and the podcast that Ruby does with some friends. So be sure to check that out. YouTube.com/gaming morning show. At 7:54, that was a long game.
Yeah, it didn't go well. Our streak's back at not a number that's high. It's a low number. Some might call it 0.
Before Red Rum had to take off, said, my wife makes me a list. That's how you stay motivated and accomplish goals. Brandon goes, complete goals? You need to accomplish 95% of your goal and then abandon it, right? I mean, listen, if I accomplish 95% of all my goals, I'd still be pretty happy with that.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty good. Downs goes, I need a plain paper budget.
Yeah.
Is that approved?
He might even need, yeah, absolutely. And we should probably throw some graph paper in there too, just in case.
To keep things at scale. Nice. All right, it's now 7:55. Let's do a very brief sports, and then we will tell you our November name of the month. Thank you for everyone who's being here on this Tuesday edition of the show.
Sports.
Yeah, yesterday there was probably some sports on TV. I didn't watch any sports.
I didn't watch any sports.
Yeah, and
I
there's
participated in sports.
Oh yeah, you were rock climbing yesterday. How'd that
counts? Not great, but expectedly so.
Anticipated to not be great.
Yeah.
Nice. Yesterday, your Portland Trailblazers lost to Oklahoma City 98-81. The Blazers now 21-30 on the year. Your Blazers. Tonight, your Calgary Flames play at Dallas 5:30 Pacific time. At 4 Pacific, your Seattle Kraken take on the Boston Bruins. No word yet on when Simone Biles and the Tiny Bark Beetle are going to have a pay-per-view battle.
Might happen.
Our good friend Lucas Myko saying Tom Brady retired. So now I open up Twitter, and it says Tom Brady confirms his retirement from the NFL after 22 seasons, 7 Super Bowl rings. Brady said, I've always believed the sport of football is an, quote, all-in proposition. If a 100% competitive commitment isn't there, you won't succeed. This is difficult for me to write, but here it goes. I am not going to make that competitive commitment anymore. Brady spent last season with Tampa Bay, and his decision to retire comes on the heels of a loss to Los Angeles Rams in the playoffs. So there you go. Even the New England Patriots have released a statement from Robert Kraft, and this is actually pretty video game related. This is a picture of Tom Brady on the left in Tom's very first appearance in an NFL game, Madden probably 99, and then that's the final version of Tom Brady.
Those are the same picture. I don't see any difference.
I mean, you can see the rain glistening off of the helmet in this one. Okay. But then this one, you can't even see his face.
Well, and his hand is just one polygon.
Which one is that? This says Madden 01, so maybe Brady wasn't in there till 01. Wow. So there you go. Because there was speculation earlier this week that Tom was going to retire. Then Tom came out yesterday and said, I haven't confirmed or decided, and now he has. So thank you for the breaking news there. Look, it's Mike O. Mike O says the only two things that can defeat Tom Brady are the NFC East and Giselle. Oh, my friend. Are you ready? The only National Football League team that has a winning record against Tom Brady while quarterbacking the New England Patriots is your Denver Broncos. There you go. Sean, have you ever heard that before?
Never. The first time.
Downs, are you on the left or right of America, or just kind of in the middle? Are you really, Downs, trying to diagram America based on left, right, and middle? That's funny.
There we go.
Sports.gaming says Ryan and I are left America, and Mike is between middle and right, and Austin is upper right, but to the west.
We've got the top third of the United States taken care of.
Done. Done and done. All right, at 7:59, let's get quickly to our November Name of the Month. This is part of the Fulfillment Appreciation GMS Name of the Month giveaway. It runs from now till February 2nd. So tomorrow is the final day. We'll announce our December Name of the Month tomorrow. And then on Thursday, everyone who's entered at Watch GMS on our pinned tweet and follow all the instructions there, plus all of our Patreon subscribers on the subscriber tier or above, will have entries into this thing, and we'll draw a name coming up on Thursday's show. Sports.gaming. Who won our November Name of the Month?
November, there were less NAs in November compared to October. And so we had some highlights such as Row in the Cracked World and Dogs Organized Neatly. Those were some runners up. Those were pretty good ones. But in continuation of the animal theme, the name of the month for the month of November 2021 is Deer Simulator, your average everyday deer game on Xbox One and PC.
I forgot about Deer Simulator. You were excited about this name.
That was a good one. I still kind of want to play it.
Well, maybe you'll get to, because it's part of our Name of the Month giveaway. What's the whole subtitle of that one?
Your average everyday deer game.
It's not extraordinary. It's just your average one. Just check it out.
So you want to be a deer.
Well, congratulations to So You Want to Be a Deer, Deer Simulator. That is our November Name of the Month, and it joins a long list of already announced names of the month that you can possibly win. Just go to @WatchGMS on Twitter and follow the instructions on our pinned tweet. We're going to be giving away over $60 worth of names, including Clone Drone in the Danger Zone, Fatagan, Tales of Creeping Madness,
Fatang.
That one too. Honey, I Joined a Cult, Aliens Drive Me Crazy, the Independence Day Britney Spears mashup. And now, So You Want to Be a Deer. So, there you go. Check it out at WatchGMS on Twitter. Next hour, we'll have our Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming re-news, takeaways that were pretty okay, and clip of the day. If you missed our interview with Victor Bargos of Bargos Games, Neku Ghost Jump, we will have that on our YouTube page as soon as we possibly can. We learned a lot about getting into game development, game jams, and what makes this game special. We also are learning that our official cartographer, IMGF Downs, is working on a map. Quiet I Am Gaming said, quote, I am downright America. Chris M.E. says, darn tootin', Quiet, which
Top of the moron.
Quiet's located in Florida, so yeah, literally downright America.
And his map is in Discord.
All right, we'll try to show
We
that
will
on
discuss
screen.
next hour.
We'll try to show that on screen when we come back. That is Sean. I am Hefty Goof. Thank you for being here, wherever you may be. Hey, it's Brennan_TTV. Thank you for the host on Twitch. We'll be right back with the final hour of the Tuesday edition of Gaming Morning Show on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at GamingMorningShow.tv.
Speaking out loud, trying to make you proud, finding my place in your heart. Just tell me what you want to hear, since I'm feeling out with fear. Can't believe you're near, so let's stay right here. You're really making me see all of the good we can be here in your arms, counting all the stars. Oh, 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 when will you have time to keep me in your life? Oh, 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 our past is forgotten, our stories rewritten. Seeing you smile, make it last for a while. Showing you my world and my heart. Just tell me what you want to hear, since I'm feeling out with fear. Can't believe you're near, so let's stay right here. You're really making me see all of the good we can be here in your arms, counting all the stars. Oh, 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 when will you have time to keep me in your life? Oh, 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 our past is forgotten, our stories rewritten.
I'm not about this at all, but I'll risk it. Feel like I've never felt before. Gonna miss it. Follow me again. Why can't I resist the gravity you have? I'm not enough, I swear. It's just how you make me so but still I say,
What's it like say?
Coming up on Gaming Morning Show, community games, and GMS Morning Gaming Renews. Get ready for your takeaways that were pretty okay, and the clip of the day. Follow us on Twitter @WatchGMS and join our Discord. Go to gms.watch and click on where to find GMS. It's all coming up on Gaming Morning Show. Time for hour number 3. Right now.
Morning, gamer. It's Gaming Morning Show. It is the Tuesday edition, February 1st, 2022. Thanks for being with us wherever you may be. Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at GamingMorningShow.tv, Sports.gaming. I am Hefty Goof. A lot of fun to hang out with you on this Tuesday, and a very productive Tuesday, I might add. Thank you so much for everyone who's hosting on Twitch. Quiet I'm Gaming just now, Chris M.E., Brendan_TTV, Aura, Dungeon Meowster, KJ, and Jordy Jasper. All thank you very, very much for doing that, and also for everyone who has liked on Facebook Gaming and on YouTube as well. Sports.gaming went rock climbing yesterday, found out rock climbing is hard.
Refound that out. Knew it was going to happen.
Nice.
That first day back with being out for a couple weeks. Whew, brutal.
But I did like, and you've helped us out a lot. Today's question of the day, or topic of the day specifically, is how motivation works for you. How do you stay motivated and complete goals? You know, I talked about putting a plan into place, and then when you start to doubt your plan, being able to refer to, well, this plan that you put in place based on the things that you really thought about and worked hard on. So just kind of trying to stay the course even when, you know, it seems like maybe you're veering off course, right? You talked a lot about certain things that have helped maybe more specifically in the medical realm, but that applies to other areas. I think that that's a safe takeaway, right?
Yeah, it's pretty applicable in many things. Where it's most useful is when you're trying to implement something that's going to take place on a daily basis. And so I use this a lot with like rehab exercises in practice when I'm teaching someone how to do exercises. This doesn't work as well if you're Olympic style lifting because you need off days, but something that you're going to do every day. And you can kind of make it a combination of things. Say you're exercising Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you're stretching Tuesday and Thursday, and on the weekends you go for a walk. So you have something you're doing every day. The two rules that I teach people, the first one is to start something every day if you have something planned. So say on Saturday you're supposed to go for a walk, you just don't feel like going for a walk. Well, put the clothes you're going to wear on or put on your shoes, initiate that process, and if you still feel like just not feeling it, then skip it. But oftentimes putting on your walking shoes, by the time you have them on, you're like, I do kind of want to go for a walk, and then you're fine. It's that initiation is sometimes difficult, so promise yourself that you will start that process every day, even if you're not feeling like it, knowing that you can pull the ripcord if you need to. And if you do pull the ripcord and you have a day off, that is okay. At any point you can have a day off, just never twice in a row. So if you take a day off, no matter what, that next day you're back on, no excuses. And that's really motivating. Sometimes that'll be the motivation you need to do it on that day, knowing that, well, if I do it today, I have the option for a day off tomorrow, because we don't like to be locked into a guaranteed, like, I have to do it tomorrow no matter what. What if I get sick? It also helps for planning. We haven't talked about this yet. For planning purposes, knowing that you can't take 2 days off, if you have something going on that's going to become a day off out of necessity, maybe you have some big event that's going to keep you from doing whatever it is you're trying to do on a daily basis, you can plan around that. Say Saturday you're going to be too busy to do something, then you know for sure Friday has to be on and Sunday has to be on because Saturday is your day off. It works.
Very good advice. Aura is in chat. So we have a spreadsheet that is used to help us get better with little things in daily life that translates to sport, from nutrition to mental to going to the gym. Brendan goes, I love planning. I love watching my plan fizzle and crumple like paper on fire. Hopefully not all the time, my friend. Hopefully not all the time.
Morning to the final hour crew.
The FHC is here. It is the 8 o'clock hour, and there's a good chance we'll miss out on another Rocket League game, but I think I'm okay with that, given the fact that we've had a kind of a breakthrough today. Our good friend Look It's Mike O has been using our business money to buy suits and build studios. In fact, we've had so far, since getting the business account on Sunday, Mike's built 2 separate studios in 2 days, which is probably going to impact our bottom line quite a bit. A little nervous.
I hope he can reuse the one from yesterday, that he didn't have to completely destroy that. Is there going to be a new studio every day?
Hopefully they're modular, maybe? Concerned. But that said, Mike keeps asking us this morning, hey, we're sending it back to you in the wherever you are. I don't think Mike knows the geography of our layout now, so our good friend, IMJF Downs, has helped us out as the official cartographer and diagrammer of Gaming Morning Show. I think you have everything we need in order to enjoy this, correct?
Yeah, I think we're all set up.
All right, let's take a look. I'm even going to throw you. Yeah, I think I'm even going to throw you full screen. So we're going to go to me. And then we're going to go to you. And I should have already had this done. Oh, yeah, look at that. I didn't even need to do what I did. That's
Nice.
okay. Here we go. You are ready to go live in 3, 2. All right, it's you. Whoa!
All right. Here's our map. This is of course the United States. And for reference, it looks like we have Mexico and Canada. No, don't move that. Move this. There we go. So as you can see, and there's a legend here. Me is me. I'm circling it with my cursor as if you could see my cursor, which you can't, but I'm going to continue to do it. Anyway. So me, up here, me pointing this way, that's JF Downs. KZ down here in Austin, Texas, is Kate Zaid. And then over here in the bottom left of the United States is Chris M. Yee, CMY. And then the top left, you see the arrow pointed to GMS Studio. That's me and Ryan. Maiko is vertically aligned here towards the right, and then Austin Attack 12 is pointed. You see that little line pointing to that top right there. And for just to orient yourself even more, America's Dangle is right down here.
Downright America. America's Dangle. Yeah,
Chris, you're like right there, Chris. Why don't you stop on by? Chris and Brendan are so close. Just come on up. It's like just down the street.
But does that really help Mike O? Does that solve the problem where Mike's going to be able to find us now?
I guess we'll see in the next news story.
I like also how Chris is labeled, right, but doesn't give location, whereas Kate Zaid specifically located in Austin, Texas. Or is that relative to where Kate Zaid actually is?
I guess we'll never know.
I'm so confused. IMJF Downs goes, it to scale? Question mark?
It looks pretty to scale to me.
Okay. Well, there you go. I am JF Downs, now the official cartographer and diagrammer of Gaming Morning Show. Nice map. It's a nice map. It's in our Discord. You can check it out there too.
I think I'm just going to stay on the map the rest of the day.
Might as well. It's the S-Studio. It's right there. Hello to all the wonderful FHC members.
Hello, FHC.
It's good to see you this morning. Lady Undead, good moron to you. Thank you for being here. Chris and me, ambassador of the Final Hour crew.
Mayor of the Internet.
Is here as well. I was going to say, that's so strange. I didn't have you on my screen. And now you're there, but you're frozen. Why are you frozen?
Let it go.
I know why. I get it now.
Let it go.
First time streaming. Kate Zaid is here as well. Brendan_TTV, other ambassador of the Final Hour crew. It's good to see you this morning. As we mentioned, I am JF Downs. Quiet I Am Gaming is here. We've met some new friends. Forgotten Vendetta's been here this morning. Aura, thank you so much for stopping by. Red Rum Gaming had stopped in, wishing Red Rum's kiddo a good recovery from COVID. Mega Spell was here earlier in the show as well. Scott Chick stopped by. Scott Chick has since gone back to work, and many, many others. Culty Vibes has been here this morning. Everyone who's been hanging out with us this morning, thank you so much for being part of the FHC. Culty, in fact, said, what helps me when I don't want to work out is just do my 5-minute warm-up and then check in with myself and see how I'm feeling. Most of the time, I'm feeling good after that, so I just keep going. Next thing I know, it's been a solid 20 or 30 minutes.
Yep. Start something every day.
There you go.
Never have to finish.
But start it.
Just start.
Wouldn't you technically finish?
Well, I mean, technically you have stopped, so yeah, I guess.
It's inevitable,
Guess so.
I suppose. Oh yeah, Wu Dang Pig was also here in the first hour crew. Thank you for hanging out with us in the FHC as well, Wu Dang Pig. Wu was here. Saw him earlier. Yep, you were. That's true. Wu has been here. So yeah, let us know what your thoughts are. What is the best way to stay motivated and complete goals? We'll also see what Mike O is tracking this hour coming up in a little bit on Gaming Morning Show. All right, I didn't ask what game you wanted to play for community games. Do you have a preference?
I mean, I have a preference, but you've been hyping up this new version of Google Feud. Do you have that ready?
You know, imagine if I did, right?
Uh-huh.
Then we would have the opportunity to play it, but I don't.
I guess we'll play Balloon Guy.
Don't let the person hanging from the balloons fall into the monster's mouth.
That was my father. I'm a Balloon Guy. Do you happen to know how we find the record?
Rumor has it there's an easy to remember acronym.
Bob?
To see
For
the
me,
record for the most
I just push a
balloons
button.
banked in, don't let the person floating from the balloons fall in the monster's mouth. Remember to type the easy to remember acronym, ! DLTPFFTBFITMMREC.
Just like that. Medium strength is what we're playing right now. We are at 62, which means because I'm very good at the maths this morning, we only need 7 balloons to have 69 banked balloons.
Absolutely.
It's pretty good.
We need to make that happen.
So here we go. Get ready. Don't let the person floating from the balloons fall into the monster's mouth. And our first puzzle is eat and drink. Eat and drink. Yes, there are 5 blanks in that front word. So 5, 4, 3, 5. It's like a haiku. I think that's a haiku.
Not even close.
Hello, FHC.
Sabby Queen is here as well. It's good to see you this morning, Sabby Queen. Thank you. You can start putting letters into the chat. Your guesses for eat and drink. The good news is we don't have to be perfect. Had this been hard strength of don't let the person floating from the balloons fall in the monster's mouth, we would have had to get all of them right to get 7. It's not the case for this one. So
Nope.
we get an E from Chris.
Chris M.E.
And then Quiet goes, fruit oof the loops. Hey, Sean, what kind of underwear do you wear?
I wear fruit oof the looms. So that third word is the, right?
We'll find out.
It's got to be the.
Mike S.
Mike with an H.
Yeah. Oof.
Ah, not the.
Sabby Queen guesses a T. Brendan goes, fruit oof the loom is when you've owned them a while and the band is stretchy. Was it you talking about Elastic Band earlier?
Yeah. Joshua Redmond, the Elastic Band.
That was the
Some good
saxophonist,
music.
right?
Yeah, jazz saxophone. He's fantastic.
It can't be dream at the end. It could be cream.
Oh, I know it. Yep, Downs has it.
Cracked. Rocky Road ice cream. Nice work,
Ooh.
Downs.
Ice cream is frozen sauce, so Ryan probably dislikes it.
I went fearless there. I clicked on all those letters without giving any minds. In fact, we only had one balloon left.
You just went for it.
It's not typical of me, especially because I've been accused, never have, but I've been accused of throwing before.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to start with phrases, and Brendan goes O. Lady Undead and Sabby on the same page with A. And then a T from Quiet and E from Sabby. Downs goes, I've been accused too. Name one time that Downs is thrown, Sean.
I've never seen it happen.
Never once. Aura with a couple of letters. Now we need to get... We had to go perfect to get 69 on this particular puzzle, so we will not get it here. Brendan goes rock and roll.
That seems pretty good.
Brendan, you are cracked. 4 balloons.
Still think it could have been down an oot.
Fruit oot balloon. This one is eat and drink. We're back to eat and drink again. Chris Amy said Ryan clicked with confidence. I clicked like no one was watching. Just like I dance. All right, all one word, eat and drink. Is that going to be your new permanent background, by the way? That's a good looking map.
It's a pretty good background. Might stick around for a little bit.
Things always look a little more sophisticated when you have maps in the background.
It's true. It's true.
Helps you navigate. We got an I and an S so far. Could be an ING situation.
G. Carrot mark.
It's not the same thing.
Ooh, Quiet with the dumplings.
Big swing for dumplings. Show me dumplings.
Wait, we need 2 balloons.
Don't screw this up. Dumplings, first try.
Oh.
Nice.
We have 69 balloons.
Yeah, we do.
We also have 4 minutes left, so we can't end
You are a genius.
on 69 balloons for the day. Should we bask in its glory for just a second? Looks nice, doesn't it?
It's pretty good.
It's a good looking temporary record.
Unless we fail. That's where
Downs, Downs, that was not an invitation. Downs, that was not an invitation. Oh no, the mouse won't work. Guess we're on this scene for the rest of the show.
Bummer.
Out of curiosity, do you happen to know what the all-time record is for hard strength?
$129.
We could have used 40 more.
Maybe we should go for $169 for medium.
That would make sense, because what's our easy record? Easy strength. Ah.
$269. Ooh. What a
Also, you
taste.
know what I just noticed? When the
What's that?
person floating from the balloons doesn't fall into the monster's mouth, and for some reason, inexplicably, like, jumps on the monster's head a la Super Mario onto a Goomba, that person just goes striding. Look at that strut.
He just goes for a stroll and then eventually finds another set of balloons and for whatever reason insists on grabbing them every time, even though he knows that's going to float him right over a monster's mouth again.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I thought the balloons were the tactic because there's always a monster on the path. If there's no monsters, but it sounds like it's not inevitable. Instead, it's the balloons that trigger the monster's appearance.
It's a trap, and he falls for it every time. He's like, "Ooh, look, 8 balloons," and he grabs them and he floats up, and the monster's like, "Ha ha, I've got you now. 1 vowel words, solve that."
But look how much the person's right now contemplating life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think the person's thinking about right now is what is the best way to stay motivated and complete goals.
So I have some questions about this guy. First of all, he's wearing shorts. That's okay, but no shirt, just shorts and no shirt. And then he's wearing what appears to be a hat, but instead shift your focus and imagine that instead of that being a hat, it's a hard shell taco, just sitting on his head.
Maybe
I think it's a taco shell.
Maybe that's what the person floating from the balloons is looking for, is a way to get the taco ready to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I see a taco shell.
Yeah, and by the way, you were wrong. Wearing a shirt, it's a very tight compression shirt.
Oh, I see. So then is he wearing shoes, or are those just his bare feetsies?
Very tight compression shoes, Sean. Look at that. Well, look at the time. It's 8:30 on the West Coast, 11:30 out on the East Coast. Is 4:30 now for those watching GMS in the UK. I guess that's where we end it for the day.
Man, I thought we were gonna have enough time for another game, and it just didn't work out.
Too bad, chat. We tried. Quiet
Maybe
Eye
next
Gaming
time.
says no shirt, no shoes. How will I get service, or he get service?
It's true.
We'll have to figure that out on
It's a strict policy.
another adventure. All right, Sean is gonna go and do Sean things. Thank you for all your sound advice, Doctor. It was a lot of fun to hear your thoughts on today's topic of the day.
Hey, anytime.
Coming up, we'll have the Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming Renews, clip of the day, and takeaways that were pretty okay. Everyone say goodbye to Sean. Goodbye, Sean. Goodbye. All right, Sean's gone. I'm Hefty Goof. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. It is now 8:30 on the West Coast. Coming up, we'll check in with Mike and see what Mike is tracking this hour. Mike was working on SLA in chat. With Quiet's help, we got Slab, which is not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. Appreciate you hanging out with us, though, for this morning's show. It's been a lot of fun. We had Victor Bargos join us for Neku Ghost Jump. We talked about the game that is out now in early access. If you missed it, of course, we'll have the interview on our YouTube page. But you can go to that link right now if you want to check out the game. It was really neat because it's, as described in chat, you can see a puzzle platformer, right? But it's cool because you go from the flat 2D perspective, and then it flips you, and you go, like, there was one part in the trailer that reminds me of that Fall Guys level where, Fall Guys is shot mostly from the back of the bean, right? And there's all those doors that you have to try to figure out which one to go through. And that kind of has that same look, and then it flips back to the other perspective. And then different things happen when the Neku is not in ghost mode and then when it is in ghost mode. So it was a really interesting interview, learning how Victor got into game development in the first place, what game jams are. That's something that I was very unfamiliar with, so that was super exciting to learn about. So we'll share that with you on our YouTube page, youtube.com/gamingmorningshow. Thank you for being here with the final hour crew. Wu Dang Pig said that person was wearing a nice cap, but then added, "Oh man, a taco does sound good." So maybe I will have tacos for lunch today. You, Wu Dang Pig,
What's for breakfast?
are falling victim to the Kate Zaid Gaming Morning Show paradox, which is you have to eat something based on what we learn about on the show. I am JF Down says it could be an old-timey bonnet. I mean, it does kind of look like that. It'd be... I guess I only have my Oregon hat on. But it'd be like the flipped-up cap version, right? It kind of looks like... I think DJ Jazzy Jeff wore a flipped-up hat like that in one music video when he was the DJ for Will Smith. Like a 90s kind of flip-up hat. So it kind of looks like that. But if you want to imagine it as a bonnet, I could see that. That could work well. Quiet says that was such a nice game. I agree. It was nice.
Nice.
So, pretty good. Thank you for being here, wherever you may be on this particular Tuesday edition of the show. Join us tomorrow for GMS After Dark. It is the show hosted by Look It's Mike O. And, yeah, it's a really good show. Because tomorrow, King Gray is going to be the guest. And on GMS After Dark, they are going to have a nice chat in VR. Which I actually saw somebody yesterday playing for a brief bit. You know what it reminded me of? There was a thing on PlayStation. I think it was first the PlayStation 3. And it was a virtual world that you would go into. Was it PlayStation Home? Might have been PlayStation Home. And so, yeah, you're just sitting there in this VR space, I assume talking to other people. One of my very first VR moments was going into a poker room in VR and being like, wait a second, what the heck is going on? And this person's like, watch out for that person across the table. They'll take all your money. And I was not prepared to be that immersed in virtual reality. So you know what I did? I got the heck out of there. I was not enjoying that experience in the least. So, yeah, Down says I'm right. PS Home. That thing was a whole different experience, for sure. So. All right, coming up after this game of Rocket League, we will check in with Look It's Maiko and see what Maiko is tracking at this hour. Mike, last time we saw Mike was wearing a brand new suit, and all of that's fine and dandy, but also had built a new studio since yesterday. And so now we're very concerned about the finances of Gaming Morning Show. So if you could help us figure out how to balance the business account that Mike just got, it would be extremely helpful. Oh, we have a little bit of the onion peeled here to this story. There's layers to Mike's use of the business money. It says, I built nothing. I found it. It was just there, not being used. But on back-to-back days, did you find new studios? I mean, that's quite the discovery. You know, yesterday you shared a story in New Jersey of how someone's house was not hit once, but twice by a vehicle. And they were going to use the insurance money to rebuild the house. So now are you in a land of mystery and make-believe? Where you're able to find studios just lying around and that fit into Discord? The Discord map that Downs built? There's so much wonder. What a magnificent place. I'm now imagining, Look It's Mike O, going through the wardrobe, a la The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and just kind of peering in through an unexpected magical place. And on the other side, there's a new studio that's disconnected from the rest of the world. Well, so far, the good news is, as far as I can tell, we're not competing against anybody that has a rear-related name. For example, earlier we had board-certified butt analyst as an opponent. And I say all of that to realize that we are playing with someone named Butt King. Butt King is our teammate. So we were not able to escape all the butt-related names. But wait. There's more. The saga is continuing. Brendan goes, is there like a Rocket League Reddit meme or something? No crud. But wait, there's more. Well, we learned about how Sir Mix-a-Lot, who famously said, "I like big butts," as Chris M.E. says, Rocket League players like butts, was part of something. It's completely escaping me what that was. But I'm seriously remembering us playing Rocket League and uncovering what that was. So in a way, tangentially, in the last week or so, we've gone from Sir Mix-a-Lot, "I like big butts," to Rocket League players loving butts. I hope you enjoy it too. What are we doing? That person's not bad. Just flying on past. There we go. Or it's just part of something. Yes, that's true. Butts are part of something. Almost. Junior opener. If you didn't catch the days of the day, they are National Baked Alaska Day. If you're looking for a takeaway that was pretty okay, we have those coming up shortly. One thing that I learned about Baked Alaska is it is apparently not a fish dish. Despite my one wish, it is not a fish dish. A fish dish, it does not wish. Fish dish, wish dish. It is apparently a dish that's baked and includes ice cream. To which one of our main culinary experts on the show, Dungeon Meowster KJ, informed us, hey, it's really hard to do. To try to bake something but not melt the ice cream is extremely difficult. But I do like a good meringue. And so, given the fact that it does include meringue, I would be much more intrigued to try a baked Alaska now. Even though I had never understood what it was until this morning. And I'm also concerned that we learned this last year, and I have since, in a year's time, forgotten it. It's of concern. Today is also National Serpent Day, Decorating with Candy Day, Car Insurance Day. I wonder why Car Insurance Day is on the first day of February. I mean, at least in the U.S., I believe, if not in almost all states, you have to have car insurance, right? Like, that's a requirement. You can have, at worst, like, base car insurance. Like, what is that? Because it's collision. Oh, collision. You have to have at least collision, right? And then there's comprehensive car insurance, which is, like, covers everything. And that's not the requirement. You just have to have collision and probably, like, a liability or something. But car insurance today is today. It's also National Dark Chocolate Day, which dark chocolate is the superior chocolate. National Get Up Day, and National Texas Day. So happy all of those days of the day to you, chat. And thank you for being here on this edition of Gaming Morning Show. Hey, look, Superphonic's back. Thank you for coming back, Superphonic, for this final hour crew.
Hello, FHC.
It is good to see you. Thank you for being here. Wherever you may be, thank you for joining us. It's been an exciting day. Neku Ghost Jump, that game is available now in early access. You can check it out. I will share the link one more time. And if you missed our interview with the creative director of that game, be sure to check it out on our YouTube page as soon as we can possibly put it up there. It's going to either be later today or tomorrow, more than likely. Thanks for being here. It's 8:42 West Coast time, 11:42 out east, 4:42 for those watching GMS in the UK.
Hello, FHC.
Dobbs is here with the final hour crew. Dobbs says dark chocolate truly and objectively is a superior chocolate. Thank you, Hefty. Well, it comes from this standpoint. It's better than white chocolate, which everyone keeps telling me white chocolate is not real chocolate, apparently, and that's fine. Like, white chocolate works in a pinch, but dark chocolate seems to be as far away from vanilla, and vanilla,
a waste of calories.
It's just not good. It's just not good. Also, Pickle Feets is here. Good moron.
Hello, FHC.
Thank you for being here with the final hour crew. It is 8:43. As I mentioned, we have Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming Renews the headlines of the day, video game style. We also have takeaways that are pretty okay, and clip of the day. But right now it is time to check on what Mike O is tracking at this hour.
Thanks again, Ryan. Our last story is a smoking one. And this is because Sydney Reynolds of News 8 WTNH takes us to Seymour, Connecticut, where a homeowner tried melting snow with a garden torch. Results weren't what they expected. A Seymour Fire Department put out a fire on Walnut Street on Saturday night that was caused by the homeowner attempting to melt snow with a garden torch, responders say. At 5:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Seymour Fire Department was dispatched for the reported structure fire. Upon arriving, dispatch quickly discovered the cause: garden torch. The homeowner attempted to melt the snow from this weekend's nor'easter with a garden torch and accidentally set the siding on fire. Flames were also found in an exterior wall, and the fire was swiftly knocked down before they were able to enter the house again. As imaginable, we do not recommend the use of garden torch or any similar devices as an attempt to melt ice, the firehouse wrote in a Facebook post. The Seymour Fire Department sent out an update Monday morning regarding the fire's origin is inaccurate. Information was posted on one of the town's Facebook pages. An earlier post listed the cause of the small fire as a mishap from a flamethrower, when in fact the item used was a garden torch, which is a kind of flamethrower. Either way, the post had since been taken down due to the use of wrong terminology. The chiefs and officers of the Seymour Fire Department wish to publicly apologize for inaccurately reporting the device used to melt snow as a flamethrower. The department apologizes for any confusion or hard feelings that their post may have caused. For those of you not in the know, a garden torch is a flamethrower. It just happens to not throw flames as hard, but they're usually bigger. Either way, I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday, and I'll see you later. Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome, Mike. That's at this hour with Look, It's Mike O. If you enjoyed that, please follow us on Twitter, including Mike. Look, It's Mike O on Twitter. And you can let Mike know how much you enjoyed Mike tracking our story in the newsroom about the flamethrower. That's not the flamethrower. And all of these days of days, and all this talk about butts, we forgot about one of the most famous butt-related facts that we've learned, which we'll tell you about in just a second. Dobbs said, "Good morning, fam. Yes, thank you for being here." And super agrees. Very true. Dark chocolate, truly and objectively the superior chocolate. So, Quiet says, if the fire department had a Rocket League account, it would be Seymour Butts. Man, this has been a very butt-related show. I believe it's either or both Lady Undead and Savvy Queen, who are full-fledged founders of the Butt Brigade. And so you may appreciate this story, too. Today is Harry Clarence Styles' birthday.
A fan of Hildart Duff and Harry Clarence Styles.
That we are. We are a fan of both Hildart Duff and Harry Clarence Styles. We learned, we want to say about a year ago, because this was part of now GMS host, but then GMS guest for 5 questions, Austin Attack 12. Austin was telling us that Harry Styles was from England, and it turned out to be not true. What was in fact the case is that Harry Clarence Styles grew up in Arkansas. And then we later found out that it was specifically Toadsuck, Arkansas. And so we asked the question of Austin Attack, hey, Austin, where is Harry Clarence Styles' very first tattoo? And what is it of? And given the fact that Harry Clarence Styles of, again, Toadsuck, Arkansas, learned how to play the harpsichord at a very young age.
Arkansas's favorite harpsichord player.
The tattoo was of a harpsichord, and it was on Harry Clarence Styles' left butt cheek. And this brings us full circle to Hey, it's Brendan _TTV saying, BRB changing my Rocket League username to Buttsichord. In fact, on the left cheek of one Harry Clarence Styles is a tattoo of a
Buttsichord.
So happy 28th birthday. And despite I Am JF Downs' request that you cannot be both a singer and an actor, to you, Harry Clarence Styles, Happy 28th birthday. Singer, actor, Harry Clarence Styles. It is 8:48 on the West Coast. It is 11:48 for those on the East Coast. It's 4:48 for those watching GMS in the UK. Superphonic says, I may or may not be obsessed with Pokemon, and my new job is very much getting in the way of my addiction today. I'm sorry. Today's topic of the day, though, Super, it's coincidentally enough, was the best way to be motivated and complete goals. So if you just make sure that you only play Pokemon once every other day, you won't break your Pokemon streak. I think that makes sense. I was watching official Gare Bear play Pokemon. You're going to crush me for this. Is it Arceus? Is that the new one that's out? Pokemon Legends Arceus or something like that? I was watching that be played yesterday for the first time. Was asking many questions about Pokemon because I'm still very much a Pokemon noob. My kids love it. They are still playing Shield. And my son is refusing to trade Shield in for, or he skipped over, what was it, the Pearl and Diamond remakes that they did. And now my daughter wants Arceus. And I was like, yeah, that's not a problem. We have it reserved. Gamefly, not a sponsor, has this thing now where you can like lock a new game, and then they guarantee that on launch day, as long as you send one of your old games back, that you'll get the game lock game. And so I told my daughter, I was like, I've had it locked for weeks. So if you want it, we have to send back Sword. And they're still not on the same page. So we agreed to a settlement. 877 cash meow. 877 cash meow. Structured settlement. We're going to get $10 from each of them. And we're going to own Pokemon Sword. And then we'll get our Arceus. So we're going to do that today. So much to learn, so little time. One of the things that I've learned the most is Austin Attack is a big proponent of the Snorlax dumper. So there you go. Aura says Harry Clarence Styles is not the One Direction guy, is it? In fact, it is Aura. Harry Clarence Styles was born in Toad Suck, Arkansas.
Arkansas's favorite harpsichord player.
So that is the one, the only. Happy butt day, Harry Clarence Styles, says Brendan. The good news, Superphonic, you're not alone. Dobbs says this is very relatable, but is still waiting for a copy. To which Superphonic says, I also bought it twice because Amazon was going to deliver it yesterday, so I downloaded it on Friday. So I have a spare copy. Super, you good, bud? I don't want you to get too far down this Pokemon obsession. I think you're streaming on Saturday. So make sure that you get everything prepped and ready to go for that. It's Brendan _ TTV. I have a settlement with my kids and I need games. Meow. We'll call JG Catworth. 877 cash. Meow. There you go. Look, it's Michael. One Direction is dead? Wow. Are they actually like fully never to be seen again? Interesting. Be sure to tune us in tomorrow, 4:45 p.m. Pacific time. For GMS After Dark, Look, It's Maiko is going to bring in King Gray. King Gray is a good streamer. Phasmophobia a lot of the time. Also was playing guitar not too long ago. It was within the last 30 days. Was playing some guitar. So like watching Gray stream on Twitch. And you can find Gray at that website. And there'll be a guest of ours on GMS After Dark tomorrow, 4:45 p.m. Pacific time. Let's have a VR chat, shall we? Chris and me is going to hop in the shower. We'll have takeaways that were pretty okay in just a bit. Let's do this. It's 8:52. It's time for the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming Re-News. This is a recap of the headlines of the day, and if you missed any of it earlier in the show, it's really easy to find. Just go to our Twitter.
Hashtag GMS Morning Gaming News.
You can also find us on Facebook Gaming at facebook.com/Gaming Morning Show. And we have our Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News first on our Facebook gaming page, as well as we've been experimenting putting it on Instagram as well. So if you haven't found us already, we are Gaming Morning Show on Instagram. Sony is buying Bungie for $3.6 billion, according to Brendan Sinclair of GamesIndustry.biz. And this brought up the most conversation. I was reading on Twitter because this made me laugh. You know, it's not an arms race. That's been a long-standing joke of ours when it comes to the discussion about Microsoft and Sony buying assets to try to make themselves bigger, better, and in a way more exclusive. And so when Bungie was purchased, announced yesterday that Sony's buying it for over $3.5 billion, we tweeted out, not an arms race. And to that, our good friend Mike O said, meh. And Chris goes, I'm not sure it's much of an arms race. Bungie isn't nearly on the level of Activision Blizzard. That's, of course, the studio that Microsoft bought. And then I saw Keith Mitchell report that Sony acquired Bungie, but it turns out in the story it was not a response to the Activision purchase. This is a quote from the story. This was not a response to Microsoft acquiring either ZeniMax, Bethesda, or Activision Blizzard, and the deal was apparently 5 to 6 months in the making. So it's not reactive, but what it turns out apparently to be is it's kind of a game of arms race chicken. As Sean was describing it, our hashtag video game expert, you're basically taking a Destiny and saying, hey, next Destiny is not going to be PlayStation exclusive. Unless you make Call of Duty exclusive, then maybe we will, maybe we won't. Maybe it's more of a Cold War. Sad as that sounds. Anyway, read it, GameIndustry.biz, GamesIndustry.biz. We have the story on our Twitter account at WatchGMS. You can link your PlayStation account to Discord starting today, according to John Carson of Game Informer. That was about a year in the making. Sean mentioned we talked about how PlayStation and Discord had come to a partnership back in May of 2021. Now apparently that's official enough where you can link your PlayStation account to Discord. And then It Takes Two, which was the Game Awards Game of the Year, the film and television adaptation is in the works, according to John Carson of Game Informer. It Takes Two, it was a really fun game. Sean and I started playing it during our GMS anniversary special. And I could see it making a very good film or TV adaptation. I also think the game A Way Out could make a really good film. Yeah, I think it'd be better as a movie. I don't think you could play it out more than one season, so I don't know you'd make it a TV series. Maybe like a miniseries would be good. Out today, Dynabomb for Xbox One, Life is Strange Remastered Collection for PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. Storyteller is out today for Switch and PC. And Karen's or Karan's Crypt, Even Death May Die, is out today for Switch. That's spelled like Sharon, but with a K. So KHARON''S. Karen's or Karan's Crypt. It's one of the two. Your name of the morning for this February 1st, 2022 is Gun Gun Gun, out today for Switch. That's gun, all caps, spelled 3 consecutive times, and all crammed together. Gun Gun Gun. So there you go. It's your Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming News. If you missed any of it, again, find us on Twitter and search hashtag GMS Morning Gaming News. Chat, what is your takeaway that is pretty okay? What is something you learned from this edition of Gaming Morning Show? Downs is now our official cartographer and diagramographer. Diagramographer, I think is a good one. Someone asked, I missed Downs' map. That was super phonic. Yes, it is in our Discord. You can find it there. So Downs received an official title for Downs' work today. So Downs is not our Billy Thundergun Award winner. Instead, today's Billy Thundergun Award goes to
Billy Thundergun, Teammate of the Match Award.
To Quiet Gaming. And here's why. Quiet Gaming, as we were discussing geographical locations in the United States, Quiet mentioned that they are downright America. Because Florida is downright America. And since we are in the upper left of America, we also learned that Downs considers Florida, what was it, the U.S.'s dangle? We've learned so much on this edition of Gaming Morning Show, and it isn't over. It is time for the clip of the day. The clip of the day. Hey, look, it's the clip of the day. Toot toot. Also, you know what I just noticed? When the person floating from the balloons doesn't fall into the monster's mouth, and for some reason, inexplicably, like, jumps on the monster's head a la Super Mario onto a Goomba, that person just goes striding. Look at that strut.
he just goes for a stroll and then eventually finds another set of balloons and for whatever reason insists on grabbing them every time, even though he knows that's going to float him right over a monster's mouth again.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I thought the balloons were the tactic because there's always a monster on the path. If there's no monsters, but it sounds like it's not inevitable. Instead, it's the balloons that trigger the monster's appearance.
It's a trap, and he falls for it every time. He's like, ooh, look, 8 balloons, and he grabs them and he floats up, and the monster's like, haha, I've got you now. 1 vowel words. Solve that.
There you go. It's your clip of the day. We also learned that apparently the person floating from the balloons falling into the monster's mouth may be wearing a bonnet more than anything. So thank you for being here. We really, truly appreciate it. I am Hefty Goof. It's time for takeaways that are pretty okay. And then if you're watching on Twitch, we will send you over to say good morning from GMS. We're going to send you to DeFrank TV. About us says, hi, I'm D, a semi-gamer who tries to play games. I hope you enjoy your time here, and I apologize for my potty mouth. Uses she, her pronouns, and please say good morning from GMS, playing one of the Final Fantasy games as we speak. Yes, someone suggested, I think it was Downs, actually. Downs had a heck of a show, that the person floating from the balloons is wearing a bonnet. So, there you go. All right. Takeaways that are pretty okay. We start with Chris M.E., who had to take off early. One of the ambassadors to the final hour crew had to get in the shower. It said, my takeaway is Downs' map is how I understand the U.S. I like, again, how Cade is on there as a reference point. Very nice work, Downs. Very nice work. KJ, takeaway is that Downs is cracked at cartography. I actually am very impressed that I knew what a cartographer was and had it ready to go right away. Never been more proud of myself, to be honest. Hey, it's Brendan_TTV. My takeaway is diagram drawing stream from Downs coming soon. Love it. All right, my takeaway is today's Domino's. I wanted pizza, so I got it. As you should have. And as we learned from Mike O at this hour, in our first hour, Domino's is tipping people $3 on their next carry-out purchase. So if you order delivery, it's not delivery, it's Domino's, then you get a $3 carry-out coupon. We also learned that Simone Biles has a rival, a tiny bark beetle. And also this hour, we learned how a homeowner tried to melt snow with a not flamethrower. It's a garden torch. So there you go. Good takeaways that were pretty okay. We'll try to do it better tomorrow. I am Hefty Goof. My takeaway that was pretty okay is there's apparently a lot more game jams than I realized. I learned what game jams were too, so that's also a takeaway that was pretty okay from our guest, Victor Bargos. But the game jams part, apparently there's quite a few more than I realized. So yeah, it's good to learn things. We'll have that on our YouTube page later. Also, dark chocolate is the best chocolate. Superphonics off to the last meeting of the day. Brendan thought it was a baseball cap. Listen, there's no wrong answers. The gaming morning shows don't let the person floating from the balloons fall in the monster's mouth. All I know is we have 69 medium strength balloons. Try to do better tomorrow. For Mike, for Sean, for Austin, I'm Hefty Goof. Thanks for having fun with us. This has been Gaming Morning Show. Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. GamingMorningshow.tv.